Hi, good, beautiful Sunday, everyone. My name is Coach Darwin Rivers, and I welcome you again to another value adding episode of the HR Cafe Trabaho, Buhay, Iba Pa. We're now at episode 59, and the free learning session that we'll be having at the second part of our program will deal with emotional intelligence and the importance of EQ in the workplace. So let me just invite you to please join us right now here at the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay at Iba Pa. We're an online talk show program and we're aired live via streaming at the Philippines HR Group YouTube channel and also the Philippines HR Group FB group page. You can also watch us, of course, at the HR Cafe Trabaho Buhay at Iba Pa FB page. So please join us. And as you enter the HR Cafe, we are your HR Cafe servers. Again, my name is Coach Darwin Rivers. I am the founder and president of the Philippines HR Group. I'm a certified life coach, a public speaker, a motivational speaker, and an HR consultant. Currently, I'm the vice president for global HR operations of a large multinational BPO company. Joining me today, of course, are two wonderful and distinguished ladies, as of course, part of the HR Cafe servers. We have mentor Rona Del Ferentino, mentor Rona, who has more than 20 years of HR practitioner experience working in different local and international companies. She's currently the president and CEO of Approach Social Geekers. She's a public speaker and HR consultant and one of LinkedIn's top 100 Filipinas to follow in LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, Mentor Rona. Mentor Rona?
Hello! Yes, good afternoon everyone and welcome to another Sunday na kapihan dito po sa HR Cafe. Naku, napaka-exciting po ng ating topic for today. And if you are joining us either from the HR Cafe page or Philippines HR Group or from any page where we are currently streaming live, pakilagay lang po sa ating comment section kung saan po kayo nanonood. Tag your friends para din alam nila kung ano ang ating topic for today. Ayan, good afternoon, Coach!
Thank you. And of course, we also have Mentor Tina Coang. Mentor Tina Coang is an operations and HR leader with broad local and international experience. She's currently a general manager of a retail company and best known for her online content, tinaandmanila.com. She's also, again, one of the top 100 Filipinas to follow in LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, Mentor Tina Coang. Hi, Mentor Tina.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. It's once again a bright, wonderful Sunday to all. And I just want to invite everyone to join us at the HR Cafe. As always, please leave your name, your company, and where you are from in the Philippines or outside the Philippines so we can greet you along in the in our webinar.
Okay. And unfortunately, Mentor John Bernard Ordonez Kaasi won't be joining us for this episode, but we are looking forward for another guesting of him in our program. Now, again, please join us at the HR Cafe. Here, we provide timely news and updates. Nako, lahat po ng latest updates tungkol sa DOLE, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, dito nyo lang po malalaman. Very fresh ang mga balita natin dito patungkol sa labor. And of course, we also impart knowledge and experience that are value-adding and beneficial para sa inyong mga tagapakinig at taga-subaybay. We also discuss problems, issues, and challenges and provide answers and resolutions through our guest resource. That's the reason why we only invite the best of the best of our resource speakers. We also discuss new technology, tools, and processes, as well as industry's best practice. We're a virtual job board, and any job-ready announcement, we encourage them. So kung meron po kayong job opening, please message us. Please message any one of your HR Cafe mentors, and we'll be able to announce it just to link employers and prospective employees. At the end of the day, we would like to bridge understanding between employers and employees and provide inspiration and motivation. Now, we start our program, of course, with our wow quote for the week. And for this episode, episode 59, our wow quote for the week comes from Mr. Eric Jensen. According to Eric, there is no separation of mind and emotions. Emotions, thinking, and learning are all linked. Let me repeat that. There is no separation of mind and emotions. Emotions, thinking, and learning are all linked. How does this particular quote resonates to you, or what does this quote um, makes you understand or makes you realize? Please message us at the comment section so that we can also share in our community. Okay, so let's start with Mentor Rona. Mentor Rona, how does this wow quote for the week resonates to you?
Naku, napakaganda ng ating quote for the week from Eric Jensen. Ang sa akin ang dating nito is in learning and development, one of the things that the basics of learning and development that you get to learn is that there are actually three domains when it comes to learning. You have cognitive, you have affective, and then you have psychomotor. And this very well reflects those domains of learning. There is no separation of mind and emotions. In order for you to remember something, in order for you to be able to get the grasp of an idea, there has to be some emotion involved. The more emotions there is, the less likely that learning will stick with us. Yung mga psych graduates yan, most likely alam niyo yung sinasabi ko, isa sa mga theories of remembering na pag yung isang bagay comes with a very strong emotion, the more likely that we are to remember that. So it's very difficult to really separate mind and emotions. Your mind works in such a way that whatever is more emotionally strong for you, the more likely it will remember things. Kaya nga meron tayong mga trauma kasi mas masakit yung nangyari sa atin, mas naaalala natin. Mas masaya yung nangyari sa atin, mas gusto natin siyang balik-balikan, mas naaalala natin siya, mas natatandaan natin kung ano yung mga nangyari during that day. Yung may mga boyfriend dyan, alam na alam nyo yan, mga mag-boyfriend, girlfriend, di ba pag nag-away kayo, ang mga babae, ay naalala ko yung ginawa mo noong Tuesday 3:45 habang naka-blue na long sleeves ka. Kasi may emotions na involved. That's how our mind works. Now, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? It's neither. It's how you process these things, the emotions that come with the things that we remember. It's how you process those. That is what matters. Walang ay dapat totally wala akong emotion para hindi ko naaalala yung mga bagay. It's we cannot do that. But how we process that, that is where our power comes from. What about you, Mentor Tina? Ano po masasabi mo sa ating quote for the week?
Very deep po ang ating wow quote of the week. Sa akin, learning is always a decision. Very conscious ang decision. It is also not easy to learn. You have to start first by deciding na gusto mong matuto. Like for example, right now, you are part of the HR Cafe. You decide to invest your time and effort to join us here in the HR Cafe because you believe that may matutunan ka dito. But it's not an easy thing kasi there are many sessions that you might join. Parang sabihin mo later, ano bang nakuha ko sa session na yun? Kasi there are some sessions, marami kang natutunan. There are other sessions naman na mas konti ang natutunan mo. So it has to be very conscious. Learning is a hard discipline, lalo na after school. Sa school kasi wala kang choice eh. You are forced to learn. Nandyan yung teacher, may homework ka, may test ka, very systematic ang learning. But when you graduate, you go to the outside world, you really have to force yourself to learn if you want to progress your mind. Hence, dapat kasama din doon ang emotions. Kasi lalo na we are all working full-time, 'di ba? So sometimes physically our body is very tired. Our emotions are very tired. It's not easy to learn when things are not right in the world. For example, kaka-break up mo lang ng boyfriend mo o girlfriend mo, hindi ka talaga in a mood to learn. So Physically, you must be ready. Emotionally, you also must be ready. And you must look at learning positively. Kasi when you go in and say, ay, wala naman ako matutunan dyan, sigurado wala kang matutunan. Pero if pumasok ka with a positive attitude and say, you know what, I'm gonna take down notes. I'm gonna be very conscious in listening to the session. I'm going to be very alert. I'm going to have coffee right beside me. Then, your intake will be more. Pero kung kunyari yung mind natin, nag-iisip tayo about yung Shang-Chi, di ba may Marvel movie na ngayon, oh, panunuorin ko yung Shang-Chi, mamaya nung kakainin ko. Di ba, if your mind is elsewhere, you will find out that the intake will not be as big. Because when you learn, it has to be mind, emotions, thinking, and heart. Everything must be to get the maximum output possible. Coach Dar?
Sure. Well, before I give my take on the wow quote for the week, are there any feedbacks or comments coming from our audience or listeners right now?
We have a lot of people who are greeting us today. Okay. Sheila Clemente is watching us. Mirna Kabantog is greeting everyone a happy Sunday. Alona Reyes is watching from Rosario, Cavite. Mirna is from Balagtas, Bulacan. We have people watching from Marikina, Mandaluyong, and Lipa. Aldrin Ilagan is watching from BSU Lipa, Batangas. Kalibo Aklan, galing po si Merly Ignacio. So we have everybody from all around. So natutuwa
True.
talaga ako pag sinasabi nila kung saan sila. JM Hanaban Mendoza says, thank you for sharing another episode and greets all of the coaches. And then maraming tayong nagtatag, inviting, please continue to tag. Neddy Estrella, belated happy birthday. Congratulations on your successful episode at HR Calabarzon. Mang Juan Tomas is watching in Davao. Welcome back again. And we do have people watching from Mandaue, Cebu.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, my take for the wow quote for the week is this. During the time that I was uh, under enrolled for the emotional intelligence class, our facilitator asked us one thing to review or to remember our
Yeah.
times during in school. Kasi if you would remember in school, pag favorite mo yung teacher, di ba? Pag favorite mo yung teacher, very attentive ka, 'di ba? Very attentive ka, very at kumbaga madaling ma-absorb lahat ng mga bagay na sinasabi ng teacher. Pero pag meron ka mga teachers na hindi mo masyadong gusto, what you normally do is you just stare at the blackboard, stare blank at the teacher, and you're not absorbing anything. Or if you are, these are just mere words and are not it's not adding value to your learning. So that's where my facilitator said that how emotional intelligence is very important. Kasi whenever there is emotion on something that we do, it duplicates, it multiplies the ability to learn. Ulitin ko lang yan ha. Whenever there are emotions in whatever things that we do or learn, it multiplies our ability to absorb it.
Hmm.
So always remember that whenever you are attending any seminar, attending any workshop, or just listening to your boss or to your mentor or to anyone who gives you advice,
Hmm.
not only listen, but listen with an open heart and an open mind. Di ba? There's a such thing as pag ang sabi daw, you need to listen with an open heart and an open mind. It's because if you do that, you absorb things better. And when you absorb things better, that will be better for you on how you'll able to put it in your lives or put it into action. So that's my take on the wow quote for the week for today. Now, let's go to our HR question for the week. Nako, tumataas na naman po ang COVID cases sa ating bansa. From last year up to this year, yung last 2 weeks, we've seen a spike of up to 25,000 cases in just one day. So, nagkaroon ng resurgence sa mga pagtatanong sa Philippines HR group. Can employees refuse to work on site? during this COVID-19 pandemic? Ulitin ko lang ha, may karapatan po ba si employee na mag-refuse to come to work on site during these times of COVID-19 pandemic wherein syempre natatakot yung empleyado pag pumasok ba ako, naku baka makahawa ako or baka mahawa ako or baka pagbalik ko sa bahay, hindi man ako ang mahawa pero bitbit ko yung virus, mahawaan yung mga taong mahal ko. What do you think, HR? So what do you think, people leaders?
I,
Let's
I
start
can
with you,
answer that. I can
Mentor
answer
Tina.
that. Okay, ganito. With everyone can refuse to work on site, but it does not mean there is no consequence. Okay? Kasi when pumasok tayo sa trabaho, when we sign the contract, unless your contract explicitly says your job is work from home, nung nagsimula kayo sa kumpanyang iyan, the understanding is physical reporting in the office. And of course, attendance is very important in evaluating performance. Kasi kung wala kayo sa opisina, may, hindi pwedeng, parang, how do you say it? That's part of your, the contract or agreement that you went in when you accepted the job offer. Now, employees do have a choice if you feel, for example, na parang it's very dangerous given the Delta variant, you have newborns, senior citizens, but you cannot oblige your employer to accept to allow you to continue working if you refuse to work on site. Long story short, if employers ask you to report on site and you refuse to do so, this falls under willful disobedience, okay, or absence without leave. So for example, anong gagawin ng isang employer pag ayaw mag-work on site yung tao? You have to send a return to work order. And then, kung hindi sumipot, notice to explain on your absence without leave. So, willful disobedience. Pinapapasok ka, pero ayaw po ninyo. Kung ayaw pa rin, you can already do the admin hearing and you can actually terminate that person for refusing to report on site. Now, here's the tip. Fun tip lang po. Huwag ninyong sulatin doon sa NTE mo ang abandonment of work. Okay? It has to be absence without leave and willful disobedience in refusal to report to work. Bakit? Because if you use the words abandonment of work, you have to exert a lot of effort to persuade Dole, the labor arbiter, and the courts later on that you have already exhausted all efforts to make that person report to work. Ulitin natin ha. If the person refuses to work on site, please do not, never, do not use abandonment of work. Use willful disobedience to a direct order in asking that person to physically report to work, okay? Or an absence without leave. Okay? Clear ba? Okay, mga fun tip yan ha. Kasi pag nagsulat talaga kayo ng abandonment of work, umabot tayo sa labor arbiter. Oh my gosh, that's a really big issue kasi you have to really prove na nagpadala kayo ng sulat, hinanap mo pa siya, pinuntahan niyo siguro yung bahay niya. You really have to prove that you actually try to contact that person kasi the person can just say, ay hindi ko na tanggap yung sulat eh. Or nag-move ako sa province, so I wasn't able to get that letter. And of course, if that's the case, you cannot really terminate that person. Rona?
Yes, iduduktong ko lang sa sinabi ni Mentor Tina kasi may comment si Sir Jojo Resio and I'd also like to highlight this kasi baka akalain naman ng mga employees na
Of
ba yan,
course, yeah.
kawawang-kawawa kami, hindi kami pwedeng tumanggi. Okay, guys, pag kayo ay ni-require na pumasok doon sa opisina ninyo, but this is outside or beyond or in contradiction of what is indicated in the IATF. Yan, pwede ngayon kayo na magsabi na hindi talaga pwede kasi sabi sa IATF dapat 50% lang pero boss 100% ang pinapapasok mo. This is not right. This is against the guidelines of IATF. Now, the safety officer has a very, very crucial role to play here kasi it's the safety officer who would need to ensure that the company is compliant not just with the IATF but yung kung ano man yung mga safety and health standards natin. If the safety officer deems there is imminent threat, there is imminent danger, then the safety officer can say na, oy, hindi po pwede, 50% lang or 75% lang or kung ilang percent lang. Hindi naman sinasabi ng batas na, ay wala kayong choice, hindi talaga kayo po pwede, kailangan pumasok kayo pag pinapasok kayo. Of course, it has to be within the guidelines set by the IATF. And since na-mention na rin naman ni Mentor Tina about abandonment of work, naku, ang dami-dami nagtatanong nito palagi. Ma'am, hindi na, ano po siya, bigla siyang umuwi. Ayaw, ano na daw, meron daw emergency, bukas na lang daw siya papasok. Abandonment of work po ba yun? Guys, be very, very careful with abandonment of work. As mentioned by Mentor Tina, you have to prove that indeed the person has abandoned work. Ibig sabihin, after exhausting all efforts, employee doesn't want to report, employee has explicitly mentioned, I do not want to report back to
Yes.
work. Doon lang po pumapasok ang abandonment of work. Otherwise, it's just willful disobedience to a direct order, or it's just absence without official leave. Kalma po tayo sa abandonment of work. Marami na pong sumasabit na labor case dyan kasi pinipilit nila na abandonment of work. Hindi po. Okay? So, ayan po.
Tsaka pwedeng makiusap, 'di ba? You can actually talk to your employer and say, would it be possible for me not to report to work naman? Usually, the employers are happy to do that kasi, 'di ba, parang a lot of people are doing flexible work
Correct.
arrangements right now and reduction of days. Pwede ka naman makiusap. Ang problema kasi a lot of people are parang they want to be paid. Yun yung problem eh, 'di ba? So, pag nakiusap, parang naghahanap, paano naman yung sweldo ko? Yun yung problema, right?
Oo,
Kasi
may
if,
consequence palagi. May
oo,
consequence
'di ba?
palagi. Ayan, i-qualify lang natin kasi may nag-comment sa ating comment section. Please qualify that in the hospital industry. Iba po ang setup pagdating po sa hospital industry. I'm so sorry, lalo na sa mga frontliners natin. Unfortunately, hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-refuse to work on-site. Kailangan na kailangan po talaga natin ng mga frontliners. Iba po ang setup pagdating po sa hospital industry because at this very moment, the hospital po hindi hospitality. The hospitals are at the forefront of our fight against COVID. So unfortunately, they need to be in the hospitals. They need to report for work. We are very thankful for the work that they are doing, but keep in mind po, for hospitals, iba po ang setup.
Pero
Okay?
may nagtanong sa akin, Coach Darwin, tsaka
Mm.
Mentor Rona, meron kasing mga hospitals na nagre-require daw ng vaccinations for their frontliners. Eh, di ba, there's some frontliners who refuses to be vaccinated for personal reasons. Paano po yun when a frontliner, a nurse, or somebody who works in the hospital refuses to be vaccinated? Yung no vaccination discrimination falls din ba with regards to hospitals?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po, pagdating po sa mga hospitals ay hindi po pwede na mag-refuse. Kasi po, pagkakaalam ko so if anyone can correct me, I'll be more than willing na to give them kung ano man yung ano nila, basis
Correct.
for correcting me. Pero as far as I know, hindi po pwede na mag-refuse sila simply because they are in constant contact. Okay, and talking about doctors, nurses, they are in constant contact with COVID patients, and the vaccination is the one thing that can lessen the gravity of COVID if ever man natamaan sila. So
Okay.
I believe, if I remember correctly, hospitals, yung mga doctors and nurses, they are required na talagang magpa-vaccinate sila kasi kailangan nila yun.
Okay.
Okay? Meron po tayong question from Sir Mang Juan Tomas. How do we treat senior citizens in our employ when they just report when they feel to, ayan.
Ang kulit.
Well, it would be dependent on the announcement of IATF kasi 'di ba, meron namang announcement if senior citizens or people with disability are not allowed to actually go out of the house. So I think we need to follow that. But let's go back to the question earlier, yung can employees refuse to work on site? First, for the employees, the right to dictate the workplace and the working hours is solely with the employer. So basically, pag sinabi po ni employer na kailangan nyo pong mag-work on-site or kailangan nyo mag-work sa schedule na to, you need to respect that because even the Philippine Labor Code respects that right of the employer under management prerogative. Second is, since last year, there have been an announcement already from IATF and DOH and DOLE that there are certain industries that are allowed to um, be on either on a 75-50% working capacity. And note though that Dole said that employers are encouraged to undertake flexible work arrangement or kaya yung mga tinatawag na work from home or yung mga tinatawag na you can work anywhere as long as you have access to your office, 'di ba? Yung mga telecommute working places. Pero that is encouraged, hindi siya mandated. So basically, at the end of the day, ano ba yung responsibility mo sa office? Ano ba yung nature of work mo sa office? Ano yung impact nito sa production? Impact nito sa business? As long as the company follows the guidelines provided by IATF, DOLE, and DOH, at isa dyan, number one dyan, yung making sure of proper strict health and safety protocols. Kaya nga, di ba, na-mention kanina ni Mentor Rona and Mentor Tina, the health and safety officer plays a pivotal role in ensuring that the workplace is safe to work at. So, yun po, employees cannot refuse to work because if they do refuse to work without any justifiable reasons, then they can be escalated. Okay, so that's our answer for the HR questions for the week. Now, let's go to updates on the Department of Labor and Employment. According to Dole, they now allow aliens work permit requests via Philippine-based employers. So basically, foreign nationals who intend to work in the country over 6 months may apply for an AEP or Alien Employment Permit. Or this is a certification of exemption or exclusion, yung COE, to their Philippine-based employers. Essential foreign workers to their Philippine-based employers may now apply for AAP or COE and 9G work visas at their concerned DOLE regional offices before entering the country. You have to take note on that, before entering the country. Secretary Bello earlier issued Department of Labor and Employment Advisory Number 16, Series of 2021, or the issuance of AEP and COE for foreign nationals intending to come to the Philippines for long-term employment. So basically, sinasabi lang nito na employers who would be hiring or will be having alien workers or foreign workers are now allowed as long as they follow proper protocols and secure the proper permits. Okay, so let's go to updates on the Philippine Social Security System. SSS will be brought to you by Mentor Rona. Mentor Rona, ano bang update sa SSS?
Yes, ang paborito po natin, isa sa mga paborito nating government agencies, naku, proud na proud po sila dahil nakapag-approve na po sila ng 240,000 sickness benefit reimbursement applications worth 1.75 billion. Yan po.
Dami.
Ay, yes, ang dami po nito. This covers the period of July 20 to June 2021. So kung kayo po ay nag-apply po dyan, kasama po kayo dun sa statistics. Kung hindi pa po na ibibigay yun sa inyo, baka sa susunod po na report ng SSS, doon na po kayo kasama. Marami po ito, good thing and bad thing. Good thing because it shows na si SSS ay talaga namang nagpa-process sila ng mga application. Bad thing because ang daming nag-a-apply for sickness benefit reimbursement, which means that marami tayong mga kababayan ngayon, employees, self-employed members, OFWs na talaga naman pong nagkakasakit and they are really taking advantage of SSS sickness benefit. maganda, ibig sabihin kasi aware na ang mga Pilipino tungkol sa kanilang mga benefits pagdating po kay SSS. Dati kasi hindi tayo masyadong aware sa kung ano po pwede natin i-take advantage, but now everyone is aware. But i-remind ko lang po kayo, ang pagpa-file po ng sickness notification at ng sickness reimbursement, lahat po ito should be done online na po ito. Okay, so it should be done using my.sss portal. Ito po ay naging mandatory last July pa po. Okay, July 2020 actually, to ensure the uninterrupted delivery of service while the country is still under various quarantine restrictions. Pero more likely po ito, even after all of these quarantine restrictions, maaaring ang ating pong mga filings ay talagang gagawin na nilang online. Maganda ito kasi at least hindi na natin kailangan lumabas, mapapile na natin lahat online. Just make sure that you have the complete documents, make sure that your my.sss is working correctly, may access kayo, may enrolled account kayo para hindi po tayo mahihirapan pag tayo po ay nagre-request na ng reimbursements. Okay po, para naman dun sa mga self-employed, para din naman hindi kayo mahihirapan na ng filing kasi kayo mismo magka-file niyan. Make sure that you have an enrolled as account, yung inyo pong bank account, kasi diretsyo na po dyan ibibigay ni SSS for self-employed OFW members. For covered employees, yan po ay dadaan through your employers. Make sure your employer has all of the documents that they need para makapag-file po ng notification and consequently ng reimbursement. Ayan po.
Mentor Rona, may nagtatanong dito, kasama ba dyan ang COVID illness or COVID-related illness?
Actually, lahat ng uri ng sickness ay covered po ni SSS. Minsan natatawa ako, may nagtatanong sa group natin, covered po ba ang COVID? Yes, sickness po yan. Basta't sickness. Covered po yan ni SSS at least 4 days po kayong naka-leave or nag-absent. Covered po yan ni SSS. Na-exhaust nyo na lahat ng sick leave ni company. Covered po yan ni SSS. And you have the required number of contributions, covered po yan ni SSS. Ang mag-iiba lang po is kung ito ba ay work-related or hindi, doon naman papasok si EC. Again, friends, magkahiwalay po ang SSS at EC ng filing, ha. Hindi po kayo pupunta kay EC para mag-file. Kay SSS pa rin po ang filing. Pero kumbaga, dalawang filing po yan. One for SSS, one for EC. Yes po,
Mentor Rona. Yeah, I have a common question is, the company usually pays for the quarantine period, or they're still paying for the staff na nag-work from home, for example, right? If that's the case, can the person avails of SSS sickness? Kasi maraming empleyado nagrereklamo dahil binayaran sila ng kumpanya during the time they were sick. Nung kumuha ng reimbursement, the company pocketed the SSS sickness benefit. Kasi there is a gray area there, diba? Dapat a condition is wala ka ng leaves. But
Correct.
still, a lot of people are still applying even after being paid for that type of period. What's your opinion on this?
We have to remember that the SSS sickness benefit is the government's way to cover kung ano man yung hindi kayang i-cover ng company. So if your company paid you during the time that you were on sick leave or you were on quarantine, essentially putting those days as some sort of leave with pay. Hindi na
Yes.
po talaga kayo mababayaran ni SSS doon. Kung
At
ano
pag
man yung
nag-apply,
ma-reimburse, pag nag-apply po kayo, yung reimbursement po, mapupunta kay employer as a way to reimburse din sa kung ano man yung ibinigay sa inyo ni employer na. Tatandaan po natin yan na itong mga benefits po ito, sickness benefit, maternity benefit, this is a way to help also the employers. Hindi tayo po pwede na kukunin natin lahat ito. We have coming from the employer and we also have the SSS. Kasi magdo-double ano naman po kayo niyan, double compensation naman po kayo niyan, 'di ba? So let's also be fair to our employers. Our employers are also suffering during this time. Kung kayo po ay buhay pang employers nyo, magpasalamat po tayo dahil ang daming companies na po ang nagsasara. Okay? Hindi lang last year, even this year, meron pa rin po mga companies na nagsasara, nagte-temporary closure, letting go of their employees. So let's also be fair to them. We only get yung mga benefits na talagang eligible tayo. If your company paid for you, wag na po tayo mag-file with SSS. If the company did not pay you during the time that you were on quarantine or you were on leave dahil kayo ay nagkasakit, then apply kayo ngayon kay SSS. Okay? Nagkasakit ang keyword po natin dito nagkasakit. This is a sickness benefit. This is not a vacation leave or kung ano pa man. Sickness benefit po ito. So kung nagkasakit, hindi binayaran ni company, hindi kayo pinasweldo during the time na naka-leave kayo dahil wala pa kayong leave credits, punta kay SSS, file kayo ng sickness benefit. Okay?
Okay.
Yan. At nire-remind din po ni SSS, effective September 1, 2021, mandatory na po ang pagpa-file ng maternity benefit reimbursement at ng maternity notification online. Okay? Actually, ito ay supposed to be mandatory nung July pa. Inusog lang nila kasi may mga nagrereklamo na hindi sila aware, hindi nila alam. So inusog po ni SSS, mandatory na po siya effective noong September 1. Okay? So, ang pag-file po ng inyong maternity benefit reimbursement ay online na po. Maternity notification, online din po. Employees, ipapasa nyo po yan kay employer. Employer, ipafile nyo siya online. Employees, pag covered employees po, wag nyo po siyang i-file online. Yung online na filing po ay para lang po sa mga self-employed. Pag kayo po ay covered employee, ipapasa nyo po siya kay employer. Si employer po ang magpa-file online. So, matuan pa rin po kayo, si employer na po ang bahala doon sa online na pagpapasa. Pag kayo po ay magre-reimburse mga HR, yan po ay dadaan sa certification. This is actually very, very good. Kasi ngayon, kailangan i-certify ni employee na natanggap niya in full yung kanyang maternity benefit bago kayo i-reimburse. Tigilan na po natin ng 50%, pinagbabawal na po yan ni SSS. It has to be advanced to you 100% within 30 days from the filing of your maternity leave application form. Hindi po maternity notification So kung manganganak po kayo ng July at nagpasa po kayo ng let's say December or November, hindi po ibig sabihin nun i-advance kagad sa inyo. Kung kailan po kayo nagpasa ng maternity leave nyo, doon po mag-start ng bilang. Yung 30 days, it has to be advanced to you in full. Pag hindi po in-advance in full, wag po kayong pumayag. Ipakita nyo po sa kanila ang Social Security Act of 2018 plus ang atin pong expanded maternity leave law at ang implementing rules and regulations noon. Okay po? Ayan. At ito po ang ating steps para po kayo po ay makapag-file online ng inyong maternity benefit reimbursement or MBRA. Tatandaan po natin na dapat may upload po yung mga required supporting documents corresponding dun sa type of delivery. So kasama po dyan pag mga live deliveries po, syempre ang birth certificate ng bata, hospital records, kailangan nyo po yan ipasa online. Naku, nag-awol po ang aming empleyado. Paano po yan? Wala kaming hospital records. Pag nag-awol po si employee, kailangan nyo lang po ng proof na kayo po ay nag-advance. Yung kanya pong copy ng MAT1, yung receiving copy po noon. At yung results ng kanyang pregnancy test po, pwede na po yan. Nakikiusap po ang SSS, wag nyo po silang bigyan no inyong pong pregnancy test mismo. Maawa daw po kayo kasi yan po ay meron pong urine po yan. Maawa naman daw po kayo. Yun po interpretation po ang ibigay nyo po sa kanila. Yun po ang kailangan po nila. Okay, so yan po, lalagay nyo po yan pag nag-awol po yung employees. Other than that, hospital records, birth certificate, kung unfortunately ay hindi po nabuhay ang bata, death certificate, yun lang po yung mga requirements ni SSS. Pinadali na po nila ngayon ang filing. Make sure po na yung inyo pong mga ina-upload na mga documents ay nasa tamang format po. So minsan nire-require ni SSS na JPEG, may mga iba silang documents na required na naka-PDF, make sure na tama po at yung size po ay doon nagko-comply din dun sa required na size para hindi po kayo magka-problema. Once na yan po ay mai-upload nyo na po, yan, pupunta na po yung certification or ma-notify na si employee na kailangan niya i-certify na na-receive nga niya in full yung kanya pong benefit. Okay? Make sure po na yung inyo pong mga ina-upload ay tama po. Baka kasi po mali po yung mga na-i-upload nyo. Mare-reject po ang inyong application for reimbursement at ang inyong mga notifications. Pag maling document po ang inyo pong pinal at baka mapilitan pa po kayong mag-drop box. So make sure po na tama po yan. Filing date po ng MBA or ng ating maternity benefit application, ang kailan po yung successful submission. So pag sinabi na po noong system sa inyo na you have successfully submitted, yan po dyan kayo magsisimula nung kailangan yung mga notifications, yan po yung reference date nyo po. Okay? Yun po yung reminders po sa atin ni SSS po pagdating po sa maternity benefit. Ayan po.
Okay.
At syempre pa, ito po ay hindi alam po ng ating mga kababayan, pero ang SSS actually ay merong housing loan. Medyo may kamahalan nga lang po ang kanilang housing loan kaya hindi po nila to masyadong in mina-market. Bukod po sa kanilang housing loan, sila po actually ay merong mga houses na right now is up for sale. So mga acquired assets po ito. So yung mga nag-take ng housing loan dati tapos hindi na natapos for some reason, nagiging foreclosed property po ito at ito po ay nilalabas ni SSS for bidding. So kung kayo po ay interested na magkaroon ng inyong sariling bahay, pwede po kayong mag-bid for this foreclosed properties. The prices for these properties are actually way below market value. Kung kayo po ay interested, punta lang po kayo doon sa link na naka-display dito or punta po kayo sa website ng SSS para po doon sa kanilang mga acquired assets. Makikita nyo rin po doon kung ano po yung mga documents that you have to submit as part of the bidding process. Iba-iba po kasi yung mga bidding nila, may mga open bids, may mga closed bids. So nakalagay po doon ano po yung mga requirements, kailan ang deadline for submission at kailan po mangyayari ang bidding po para doon po sa mga assets. Pero yan po, isa po yan sa mga program na pinapakita po ngayon or ini-introduce ngayon ni SSS para sa mga gustong magkaroon ng sariling bahay. Pero kung kayo naman po, ang gusto niyo naman po ay talaga namang magandang terms para sa housing loan niyo po. Syempre ang i-refer pa rin namin sa inyo is ang ating Home Development Mutual Fund or ang ating Pag-ibig. Bakit Pag-ibig? Dahil sa totoo lang mas maganda yung kanilang terms, yung haba yung repayment term at ang kanila pong rate, mas maganda po sa Pag-ibig kaysa sa SSS. So kung kayo po ay maglo-loan, mas maganda pag sa Pag-ibig. At magandang balita, kung kayo po ay maglo-loan or kayo po ay may existing loan, meron pong contest or meron pong paraffle si Pag-ibig po right now. Be updated, get rewarded, raffle promo. Maaari po kayong manalo ng 1 million sa kanilang grand draw or 100,000 sa kanila pong monthly draws. Ito pong promo na ito runs from August 1, 2021 up to December 31, 2021. Ayan po. So tandaan po natin yan. Paano po maging eligible dito po sa draw na ito? Lahat po ng Pag-ibig housing loan borrowers ay kasama po dito sa promo na ito. Pag-ibig members can win 100,000 sa monthly draws at kung kayo naman po ay makasama dun sa final draw, 300,000, 500,000 at 1 million ang maaari nyo pong mapanalunan. Punta lang po kayo sa website ng Pag-ibig dun sa inyo pong access para makita nyo po kung updated po ba ang inyong existing housing loan. Dapat wala po tayong mga butas sa bayad from August 21 to December 21 para automatic makaka-join po kayo dito sa raffle na ito. Kung gusto pong humabol at kayo po ay bibili din po ng bahay, condo unit o kung ano pa man, pwede po kayong humabol dahil ang period po na to, again, is from August 1 to December 31, 2021. You could be the next winner. So, tara na! Ayan po.
Thank you, Mentor Rona, for your updates in SSS and Pag-ibig. Now, let's go for updates for PhilHealth. And we have Mentor Tina Coang to give us updates on our PhilHealth benefits.
PhilHealth has actually announced last month that there is what we call the COVID-19 Home Isolation Benefit Package. Now, you have to read the fine lines. Kasi iniisip ninyo na pag kunyari nagkaroon ako ng COVID-19 na nag-isolate ako sa bahay, makukuha ko 5,917 pesos from PhilHealth. No, that's not the case. Okay, actually, ganito yun. There is what you call there are quarantine centers that are applied to be eligible for this. So, kunyari nagkaroon ka ng COVID-19, sinabi nyo sa barangay po ninyo, pumunta kayo sa quarantine center, hindi na po coverage ninyo, hindi na kayo magbabayad hanggang 5,917 cost. So, technically, in a way, yung pag-visit mo sa quarantine center, pag nagkaroon ka ng test, pag meron kang konting medicine, that's pretty much covered hanggang almost 6,000 pesos. But you have to make sure that that quarantine center is accredited by PhilHealth. Hindi pwedeng, and it has to be in an area kung saan high surge ang COVID-19 statistics. Okay? So it's not everything. But if you're eligible, malaking tipid po yun kasi hindi ka maglalabas ng pera pag humingi ka ng assistance. You will also be given a COVID-19 care package which contains face mask, alcohol, a little bit of medicine na you can bring if ever nandun ka sa quarantine center or after the quarantine center, nag-isolate ka sa bahay mo. Okay, so that's just a fine print kasi baka kala ng tao, wow, jackpot. I'm asymptomatic. I have COVID-19. I'm home isolating. I will be given 6,000 pesos by PhilHealth. No, that's for SSS sickness that you can apply for. Separate thing. Pero still a big help kasi you don't have to pay. Kasi most quarantine centers are still affordable. Right? Next. So there. So yun yung sinasabi. Hindi na babayaran yung 10 araw ng home isolation consultation. So libre din ang consultation. You can actually call the doctor, ask for medicine consult. And then as mentioned before, the home isolation kit, pa-cute pa sila. Meron kang 1 liter, 70% alcohol, 5 pirasong face mask, 1 thermometer, 1 pulse oximeter, and consent form. No, this is not a joke. Okay? But one good tip, if you are in a quarantine center and you are COVID-19 positive, please bring with you your SSS sickness notification and medical certificate form and ask the licensed doctor in that quarantine center to please sign it. Kasi a lot of people, pag uwi nila doon sa quarantine center, saka na lang mag-fill up ng SSS sickness benefit form. Hindi na nila mahanap yung licensed doctor. You need to have the licensed doctor sign those forms in order for you to apply for SSS sickness if you have COVID-19. Okay? So please, pa-print kayo. Bago kayo pumunta sa quarantine center, dalhin nyo yon sa bag, pasign niyo dun sa doktor. Okay? Kasi kailangan nyo po yon. Mahirap po talaga maghanap ng doktor who will certify you once you get home and already healed of COVID-19. Next. And then, of course, PhilHealth is also reminding us that the package for acute lymphocytic, which is a leukemia-related disease, and leukemia standard risk is 500,000 pesos. So it's very important that if, for example, you do have this sickness, please ensure that you go to a PhilHealth accredited hospital and clinic. Kumukonti na, pero meron pa rin, and make sure that you have that coverage. So even if marami tayong problema sa PhilHealth, there are still a lot of benefits to those who watch the HR Cafe and know that they can avail almost 500,000 for leukemia. Next.
Agree. So let me just go on to our sponsors. Thank you for that, Mentor Tina. So El Puerto Marina Beach Resort and Vacation Club, they are located in Pangasinan and also in Boracay. And soon to be, they will be opening a resort at Palawan. So
Oh.
if you or your family would like to go and enjoy, or your company would like to have any team buildings activities or enjoy a beach resort and hotel club, please message El Puerto Marina Beach Resort and Vacation Club FB page. Tell them that you are a member of the Philippines HR Group or a member of the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay, Iba Pa, and you will be given exclusive discounts and privileges. Also, if your company is looking for certifications, virtual HR certifications, the Philippines HR Group is partnered with People Matters Singapore and People Matters India. And under their BNext program, all members of the Philippines HR Group can get 25% off for all virtual certifications. Just use the discount code PHRG25. Okay? And if your company is growing and you're looking for a HR management system that will take care of your recruitment, your engagement, your timekeeping, your payroll, or even your what do you call this? Your performance management, you can reach out to People Force HRM or People Force FB page. All members of the Philippines HR group gets 14 days of free trial. Okay? And if you have any questions, again, nire-remind po namin kayong lahat, please post your questions at the main page of the Philippines HR group. Opo. And also, meron po kaming growing community sa LinkedIn. So just search for LinkedIn groups and go and join us, the Philippines HR group in LinkedIn. And if you would like to review or watch previous episodes of the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay, Iba Pa,
Mm.
please go and like our FB page, the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay, Iba Pa. And if you or your company would like to sponsor us, you can email us at darwinrivers@yahoo.com or message any of our HR Cafe servers. That's Mentor Rona, Mentor Tina, and Mentor Burns. Now, announcement lang po sa ating first ever chapter ng Philippines HR Group with HR Calabarzon. Yesterday, ang kanilang speaker ay si Mentor Rona. And Mentor Rona has more than 300 audience yesterday. So congratulations, Mentor Rona. Now, next week or the next following weeks, their speakers are also PHRG mentors. For next week, we have Michelle Cordero Garcia, who's the Regional Director of Human Resources of Dexcom, who will be their speaker, and that will be September 18. While on September 11, they would have no other than international HR guru and international speaker Ron Thomas, one of our mentors at the Philippines HR Group, who's the managing director of Strategy Focus Group. He will be the speaker on September 11 for the HR Calabarzon. We're very much happy to see
Mm.
HR Calabarzon, one of the first chapters of the Philippines HR Group, to be growing and also conducting this free webinars. So good luck to the HR Calabarzon group, and also belated happy birthday to Nelly Estrella, the founder and host of HR Calabarzon. Now,
Mm.
let's go to our part 2, our session, the second session of the HR Cafe for today. As I mentioned earlier, we are at episode 59, and we
Mm.
have Mr. Antony Villarina, uh, who will be our guest speaker for today, and he will be discussing about emotional intelligence and personal and professional differences in the workplace. Let me just welcome Anthony. Okay, let's just add Anthony here. Oh, sorry. Hi, Anthony. Good, beautiful afternoon.
Mute? Muted?
Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Okay. Now, Anthony, no, bago ka muna magsalita at batiin ng ating mga taga-subaybay ngayon sa HR Cafe, hayaan mo munang i-properly introduce kita. Mr. Anthony Villarina is an HR practitioner for more than 7 years. He has a master's in industrial organizational psychology at the PUP Graduate School, and also a certified emotional intelligence practitioner.
Mm.
He's my batchmate at the first emotional intelligence practitioner certification here in the Philippines under the Genus program. And isang trivia lang, no, I'm very, very proud of Mr. Villarina because more than a decade ago, he was part of my team when I was the HR director of Canon Business Services, and I've always, even back then, I've seen the passion of Moy. We call him Moy back then. The passion of Anthony in learning and development. I'm very much happy that from operations, from marketing, he dutifully shifted a career in HR and is now an HR leader uh, to a large Singaporean multinational company, a shipment company. Hi, Moy.
Mm.
Hello po. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mentor Tina, Mentor Rona, and of course, Coach Darwin. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me today, and of course to share something to the HR community. So maraming pong salamat. Maraming salamat.
Okay. Well, before you start, no, I'll give the floor muna to Mentor Ron and Mentor Tina. Baka you guys would like to ask how did uh men, Anthony started his journey in HR? Or baka meron kayo mga questions about him. Nako, napaka kulay ng buhay niya ni Anthony.
Actually, may tanong ako.
Yes po, yes po.
Coach Darwin and Sir Anthony, bakit po yung mga batchmates ninyo kung saan-saan nang nagpo-progress in different fields, both here and overseas? There is, kasi 'di ba, parang right now there's a lot of HR practitioners, and of course they're struggling to make a name in the Philippines and in the world. But your batch was able to, yung mga barkada nyo, mga friends niyo, you in particular was able to progress. Naging HR directors, HR leaders, 'di ba? So what's a common thread in your career? Ano napansin ninyo na meron sa inyo na nakatulong sa inyo sa career ninyo?
Can I answer that first?
Oh, 'di ba? Puro
Ako,
mga
I believe,
barkada. Baka si Coach
yeah.
Darwin yung commonality.
Then I believe this is the reason why. Because we always believe that helping each other is the best formula to succeed. We don't see each other's competitions.
Kaya nga
We've
eh.
never seen each other's competitions. Each one of us have carved our own niche in our different
Oo.
industries, and we've acknowledged the fact na walang magaling sa amin, lahat magagaling. Lahat mo pwedeng matuto, lahat may maibibigay sa community, and we support each other. We've never, I think one of the things that kailangan yung matutunan as you grow up the ladder
Yeah.
is whenever you see a colleague, not even even outside your organization,
Yeah.
basta in the community, support him or her, because one way or another you will be supporting each other because we're just part of one community.
Pwedeng sumagot, pwedeng makigulo. Ako, I've been lucky enough to know some of Darwin's friends. Hindi lahat sila, pero I was lucky enough to know some of his friends. And I think tama ka dun, Mentor Tina. Common thread actually si
Tama?
Darwin.
Oo. Pero,
And this is the thing. Most people do not regularly see Darwin in Philippines HR group. Minsan-minsan lang siya nagko-comment. And sometimes ako actually naiinis ako whenever I hear Darwin getting flack, because Darwin, and I'm saying this not because Darwin is here, but because Darwin, especially for me, I wouldn't have made it this far if not for him. Kasi Darwin has this attitude na whenever he knows someone, pag meron siya nakita na uy, pwede siya sa ganito, nakaano kaagad siya na sasama kita. Okay, sige, LinkedIn, 100 influential people to follow in for learning and inspiration. Rona, sama kita dito. Or the World HRD Congress. Uy, pwede si Rona dito. Yung alam mo yon, hindi siya yung tipo ako lang.
wow.
'Di ba? Ako lang, dapat ako lang yung popular. Hindi siya ganon. May naiisip niya kagad. Si Ivy pwede dito, si Rona and Tina, 'di ba?
Yes.
Before, when you were not yet that active in Philippines
Yes,
HR group, 'di
correct.
ba? Wala masyadong nakakakilala sa in the HR industry. But when Darwin saw that you are doing all of these comments and you were really providing input, message siya kagad. Do you think we should include Tina as one of our moderators, ganyan-ganyan? Excuse me. So parang sige, she's providing value to the group. Sama natin siya. And then HR Cafe happened. Uy, Rona, nagsimula silang dalawa lang naman sila ni Burns and then biglang, uy Rona, baka gusto mo ganyan-ganyan. I started as a speaker and then later on, pwede ka ba every Sunday? And then, uy si Tina, baka pwede natin isama. Ganon siya. Hindi siya yung tipo, and I hope
Yes.
all HR people would be like this. Hindi siya yung tipong ako lang dapat. Hindi.
Tama.
Nandun siya yung tipo na I have this clout, I have this power. Why not sama natin pati yung iba? Let's have the volunteers. Let's feature the volunteers of Philippines HR group. HR Calabarzon is here. Uy, let's
Yes, correct.
promote them. Ganon siya. Kaya mapapansin mo, lahat ng friends niya. At napakalawak ng network ng friends ni Darwin. Promise. Lahat, parang each time, promise. Alam mo yung tipong nag-i-interview ako for associate director na role. I know Darwin. Ah, okay. Paraging, ay, kilala ko si Darwin. Magkasama kami
Taas
sa
na ng
ganito. Ganyan.
sweldo.
Ano
Pag
siya? The most unselfish person I know.
That's
And
true.
sometimes pinapagalitan ko siya. Sabi ko, Darwin, wag masyadong mabait. But he is the most
Yes.
unselfish person I know, and I I am willing to tell this to everyone. And
Yes.
I always tell this to everyone. Actually, kahapon to rin yung topic namin ni Neds. Nasabi ko sabi ni Neds parang, thank you for mentoring me. Sabi ko, naku Neds, I am just paying back what
Yes, correct.
Darwin did to me. Kasi
Correct.
ganun ako, hindi ako, nobody knows me before. As in, di ba, wala naman, hindi ako kilala ng mga tao. I'm just this HR person who was a member of the HR Philippines Yahoo group pa nga noon eh. But alam mo yun, Darwin was there. Darwin was telling me na, sis, ganito gawin mo. Hindi kami nagkikita pa. The first time that we saw each other was, I think, nung nagpatawag siya ng Volunteers for Philippines HR group. Pero nagkakausap kami, and whenever I need advice, na may message ko siya, hindi siya selfish. Super.
That's true. Gracious is the word.
Yeah.
Oo.
Anthony?
Well, I agree. Definitely, I agree. Nag-aaral pa lang ako ng masteral. He's been very supportive. I mean, he even went all the way to our school for I think my presentation subject. He went there and he present with my classmates. And I believe I messaged him, no? Minessage ko pa siya that time na, Sir, I think I got 1.25 dun sa grade namin, dun sa ginawa niya. He really exerted extra effort ever since. I mean, I know him since 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago.
Mayata
Hindi
edad
pa,
ko.
yeah, I mean, hindi pa ako HR. I've been into training and I even told him, sabi niya sa akin, Anthony, gusto mo bang mag-HR? Sabi ko, sir, oh, ayoko po. But yeah, to be honest, kung mag-HR ako, gusto ko ako yung manager. Ayun,
Mm.
that's what I told him. That's what I told him. And I
Mm.
never accepted any HR generalist. Though I
Mm.
don't mind, no. But it's just that to me, I think I am ready enough to be the manager and to head the team. Even I don't have the experience. So there, I think yeah, he's very generous with
So I
the learnings and knowledge. Hindi siya madamot. Binasa ko, nag-backtrack ako ng mga chat namin eh. Even yung mga problems ko with my previous colleagues, my previous company, sa kanya ako nagko-consult talaga. And he gave me a good answer to every question I have. So he's very selfless, I think. That's one
Guys,
thing I
this
can.
which is
the show is
perfect.
for you guys.
No, but it is perfect for today's topic, which is
Mm,
emotional
correct.
intelligence, 'di
Yes.
ba?
Correct.
Kasi
Correct.
you cannot have low emotional intelligence and go this far and be gracious because
Correct.
emotional intelligence means you have a big heart, right?
Correct.
True.
And Coach Darwin has one of the highest, if not the highest, in the HR community talaga. And everybody who has met him does not have anything bad to say against him. Except yung mga nainggit. Kung yung mga nainggit,
Yes.
maraming masasabi. Pero in fairness, everybody who he has touched. And I think that's one good thing about emotional intelligence is wag maging buwakaw and be like Darwin.
So,
Yes. True. True.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, back tayo dun sa topic.
yes,
You
let's go
need
back
to
to the
have,
topic. Pero ano lang ha,
oo.
ano lang meron akong may joke kami ni Rona dati. Kasi sabi ko, Rona, bawal tayong magalit. Kasi maraming ng taga-subaybay. And di ba, of course, there's what we call as leadership mirroring. So
Yes.
understand that in our path, as we grow up the corporate ladder, we're being mirrored by the people who follows us, by our subordinates, by our team members. So always be someone who can inspire, someone who they can emulate, 'di ba? And wag po kayong maaasar kung meron mga tao na lumalamang sa inyo or mas
Correct.
nakakakuha ng mas maraming recognition. At the end of the day, we're just doing this because this is our work. But not only that, because we're part of the community, wala po dapat inggitan. Okay? So I'll give the floor to Anthony Villarina for his discussion about emotional intelligence and how important it is in the workplace setting. Let's go, Anthony.
Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, good afternoon po. I am very happy to be part of this program because today I will be able to share the professional side of me that majority of my close friends and family don't know. And I would like to say hi to my HR business partner in Singapore, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, my Philippine HR team, my good friends, and of course the Philippine HR group community. Good afternoon po to everyone. I would like to introduce myself again personally. I'm Anthony. I'm a certified emotional intelligence practitioner by Janus International. I am working with PACC Shipping Philippines for almost 3 months now. I've been in the shipping maritime industry for around 7 years. But prior joining the shipping maritime industry, I worked in BPO for 10 years. And then I decided to try my luck in Singapore. I stayed there for about 3 years. I work in an insurance company and advertising company, streetdirectory.com, as a sales manager. And then I got exhausted, so I shifted as a spa receptionist at Fairmont and Stamford, Singapore. And then after a year, I decided to go back to the Philippines. I joined another BPO company as marketing lead analyst and trainer. And then at the same time, I enrolled in a masteral program at PUP, Polytechnic University of the Philippines Graduate School. And thank God I managed to finish in 2 years. Master in psychology, major in industrial organizational psychology. And then I was given an opportunity to work as a um, part-time psychology professor. I was also offered an HR position, as mentioned a while ago. Um, and then I wish to become an HR manager. I was given a chance to work as HR manager for almost 6 years. And then after that, I started a company that provides for training and development, team building, emotional intelligence for leaders, mental health awareness. However, the pandemic started and all my trainings were got canceled. Um, what I did is that I took the opportunity to be with my family and be productive because I have kids to feed, and at the same time I have numbers of bills to pay. So I started selling online, and I appreciate the situation that for so many years working, God gave me the chance to be with my kids this time 24/7. Okay, and it is good that chance for me to make things better. And then I prayed for PACC to come, and my company, my current company, they came at the right time. And I promised myself to give 101% of me because this company lifted me the time I needed it the most. Okay. Now, along, of course, with the help of and assistance of a very good friend. And with regards to that, we don't always achieve our goals the first time around. Okay. It's actually about picking ourselves or picking yourself up and trying it again. And with the challenges that we all face in the new normal during the pandemic, it is important to be able to get back up and when you fall and just keep going. Okay. All right. Now, thank you for joining me here this afternoon. All right. I'm here to talk to you about emotional intelligence, specifically for HR professionals in acknowledging personal and professional differences in the workplace. Now, the skills that I will be sharing today is based on my own experience, okay? My own practice as well as understanding. And I hope that you'll be mindful of the techniques that will be shared, also provide a space for new learnings and ideas. and to be able to understand the importance of continuity in our role as HR professional. So, importante yung continuity dun sa ating role as HR professionals. Okay? Now, are you a born HR or an experienced HR? So for me, I will say I was never born HR. Okay, I was never born HR, but I consider myself as an experienced HR. Now, what is the difference? Now, later after my presentation, perhaps together with Coach Darwin, Mentor Tina, as well as Mentor Rona, I want to hear their answers as well. So we can hear more and for us to better understand our personal and professional differences. Okay. And also, you need to listen carefully because I will give out something special today to some of our lucky HR viewers. Okay. So, ready, guys? Okay. My point of view, in your emotional abilities aren't in hand, or if your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you don't have self-awareness, if you're not able to manage your distressing emotions, if you can't have empathy and have effective relationship, then no matter how smart you are not going get you're not going to get very far. Now, this point of view will make sense once we acknowledge the importance of emotional intelligence in our role as HR. Okay? The skills that I will be sharing today, again, is based on my own experience, practice, and understanding. All right? Okay. Everyone expect, of course, to be working with someone who provides highest level of professionalism. Now, what is professional? Professional is a person that is engaged or qualified in a profession, a person who is competent or skilled in a particular activity, right? But being professional is actually more than a dictionary definition, okay? It requires us to behave ourselves in accordance to our conduct, aims, and qualities. Okay, so ulitin ko, it requires us to behave ourselves in accordance with conduct, aims, and qualities. So if we talk about conduct, okay, we're talking about behavior, the way a person behaves towards other people. Aims. Aims is the act of aiming. Okay, so act of aiming to accomplish a purpose, to hit certain target. And then qualities of a professional is the character of a professional person, like a trait of personality. Okay. Now, some people are know-it-alls. Okay, meron tayong makikilala, lahat alam nila. You know, they may have the power, they may have the degrees, they have the credentials, they are trustworthy, they are intelligent, they are educated, but do they really use this power for betterment of others? Or people use their wisdom to hurt others or use others to their advantage. Okay, so we will know, we'll find out in a while. Okay, essential behavior of an HR professional. So what is an essential behavior of an HR professional? An HR professional should be strong but not rude. Okay, that's one. An HR should be kind but not weak, humble but not shy. An HR should be bold but not bully, thoughtful but not lazy, proud but not arrogant. Okay? HR professionals, we need to remember wala siya sa posisyon. Okay? Wala siya sa posisyon. Paano ka maging tao at paano ka magpapakatao. Because as HR professionals, we are practicing these behaviors unconsciously every day. No? It's something innate. These behaviors, being strong, being kind, being humble, being bold, being thoughtful, being proud, ano to eh, innate. It's something natural. And that makes us human resources. Okay? Now, this praise in a Cathy Garcia Molina movie, you know, this praise actually keeps me on the ground that every time I encounter challenges in terms of decision making, I just go back and read this. Madalas sa kagustuhan nating maging pinakamagaling, nakakalimutan nating maging mabuti. Though we are following certain rules and policies in the workplace, let's say an employee discipline case, not because you send the notice to explain, not because you set a disciplinary hearing, tatanggalin mo na sila. I personally set disciplinary hearing to understand what happened, what leads to the situation. We need to understand kung ano ang pinagdadaanan ng mga tao. And then I will give recommendation. I will give my recommendation. Ang pagiging tao at pagpapakatao, hindi siya dapat nawawala. And again, the continuity of our role as HR professional, hindi siya dapat nawawala. Okay? Okay. When was the last time you check on your people? Okay? When was uh when was the last time you asked how they are? Okay? Kailan yung huling beses na kinamusta mo yung mga tao mo? Kailan yung huling beses na inalam mo kung anong nangyayari sa kanila? We need to remember that no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay? Ang tao walang pakialam sa kung anong iyong nalalaman hanggat hindi nila nakikita na ikaw ay may pakialam. Okay? In HR, we are experiencing like a roller coaster of emotions every day. Okay? Yung HR, punong-puno yan ng action, ng drama, ng kababalaghan, ng takot. Yung buhay ng HR. But in HR world, okay, in HR, you will have a list of things to do. And believe it or not, most of the time, wala kang magagawa. Okay? Wala kang magagawa ni isa dun sa mga dapat mong gawin kasi you are attending to the needs of your employees. You're making sure that you attend to their concerns, not because trabaho mo yon, but simply because you care. Okay? That's why we need to be the kind of HR, okay, that cares. A kind of HR that isn't afraid to show it. Okay? Be the kind of HR that cares and isn't afraid to show it. HR knows or HR should know how to listen. Okay? Importante na marunong kang makinig. All right? Importante na iniintindi mo kung ano yung napakinggan mo at kung anong sinasabi sa'yo. Hindi mo kinakailangan na magmagaling. Okay? Kasi the fact that you are an HR professional, you should be confident that you are already good enough. But you can always be better. Again, no matter what your role is, okay, in HR, kinakailangan na hindi ka magmagaling. Kasi the fact that you are there as HR professional, you should be confident already that you are good in that position. Okay? And no matter what your role is in human resource, it is very important whether you are on training. Okay? Listening is very important, whether you're on training, you're on payroll, either you're on recruitment, administration, employee relation, employee engagement. Excellence is what we create on our respective area of responsibility. So here are some of the ideas. All right. Some of the ideas that I can share with everyone. Okay. Never take anything for granted. Okay. We need to treat each encounter with our employees as unique and new. Okay. Next is minimize distraction. When we are talking to someone or we are listening to our employees, you can't listen to employees' requests while answering the phone at the same time or doing unnecessary things and expect to keep track of everything. Something will get missed, right? Focus on content, not the style. Most people do not know how to communicate effectively. So do not let that bother you. Try to understand the message. Okay, so focus on the content, not the style. Next, repeat what you think you heard. Okay, checking back with someone to make sure you understood them is an effective way to ensure proper communication. And last is clarify what you hear. Clarify what you hear. Ask questions. to ensure that you understand exactly what is being said. Importante na maunawaan mo yung sitwasyon. It is necessary that you understand the situation before you give your decision and opinion in a specific situation para hindi ka magkamali. And again, you need to apply yung continuity ng role mo as HR professional on your decisions, your behavior, and your performance. Okay? Next, take time today to appreciate someone who does something you take for granted. Okay? It is important as HR professional to appreciate our people. We should appreciate our people. Masarap na maramdaman na importante ka dun sa kumpanyang iyong pinaglilingkuran. Okay? People want to feel valued. Kaya subukan mong iparamdam dun sa mga tao na importante sila dun sa organization. Kasi once you build that feeling of being valued, it will surely reflect on your employees' performance. Okay? Now, after a successful project, maybe for a work completed fairly, um, a work that is finished on time. So you can say you did a great job, well done, good job, that was good, thank you, good work as always. Thanks for getting this done. You are a lifesaver. Okay. Now these things will surely have an impact on the morale of your staff. Okay. As HR professionals, we need we need to be authentic. HR professionals should be genuine. Okay, honoring commitments and encouraging this behavior in others. Now, when people feel like they are truly valued and are really being heard, they are much more likely to follow. And at this point, I personally wanted to make my team, my team so strong, you don't know who the boss is, rather than getting the credit alone. Okay, all right, okay. A CFO asked CEO, what happens if we invest developing our people and they leave us? Okay. The CEO says, what happens if we don't and they stay? As HR, we need to help to promote our people. Tulungan natin yung management to promote our people. Make sure that there's opportunities for career development internally. Now, before we offer key positions outside, we need to make sure our own people have a fair chance to be considered, no? So, paano mo siya gagawin? A good training plan on employee learning and development should be in place. That's one. You should develop people within your organization because people will feel valued and protected. And by initiating that employee learning and development, your people will be confident to take key position responsibilities. And you were able to help them achieve their individual goals. Because people need a little push, you know. Madalas, we need to recognize our employees' abilities and encourage them to reach their full potential. At one point in our lifetime, we will be needing help as well from others. And most of the time, it's not just about the money, because helping others can be simple but unforgettable. You can give your time, you can listen to someone who is going through tough time, or you can just be there. Helping is caring. Help someone else and see how it impacts your life, and you'll end up seeing benefits in your personal and professional life. Okay, so, an HR professional knows how to clap, okay, and when to clap. This I got from a very good friend and mentor, Mr. Jeff Mengin. Okay, hi, Sir Jeff. That HR professional knows how to clap. Okay, an HR professional cares, they listen, they appreciate, and they promote. Okay, now, who will clap for the HR? Sino yung magka-clap sa atin? Okay, your people, your employees, your team members, your boss, they will take care of you. How? Once you build a good relationship with your people, trust them. They will help you all the way. Because people will remember that you care, people remember that you listen to them, you appreciated them, you promote them, you clap for them. People will participate with your programs, people will start engaging with your projects, they will attend and comply with the things na kailangan mo sa kanila. And once you completed a certain project of yours early, that is a sign that your people valued you. They listened to you, and it means they cared for you. Okay? And on the other hand, as HR professional or as an HR, we are not perfect. Of course, sa maraming pagkakataon, magkakamali at magkakamali tayo. But what is important is we acknowledge that mistake and we take necessary action. Okay? Okay. Understanding the concept of artificial emotional intelligence. Okay? What is artificial emotional intelligence? This one is written by Bernard Marr. Okay? When computers can read emotion by analyzing data, that is including facial expression, gestures. I'm talking about computers, huh? Computers that can read emotions by analyzing data. That includes facial expression, your gesture, tone of voice, force of keystrokes, and more to determine a person's emotional state and then react to it. We call this artificial emotional intelligence. Now, this ability will allow humans and machines to interact in a much more natural way and very similar to how human to human interaction works. Now, this one is very interesting, no? Very interesting but scary. Imagine as machine learning continues to grow, we all need to develop new skills. That is in order to differentiate ourselves because in the rise of artificial intelligence, it makes emotional intelligence important. Okay? Ulitin ko. In the rise of artificial intelligence, it makes emotional intelligence important. Okay. Why is emotional intelligence important at work? Okay? When we are emotionally intelligent, we actually communicate. When we are emotionally intelligent, we collaborate. We communicate, we collaborate, we connect better with those around us. And having a highly emotionally intelligent team will lead to a more powerful interactions, a happier, all right, more psychologically safe work environment. Because emotional intelligence will make us feel motivated. We will be more engaging in our work and inspire us to continue our personal development, turning our work from something we have to do, okay, turning our work from something we have to do into something we are excited about what we want to do, okay? Because emotionally intelligent professionals, okay, emotionally intelligent HR professionals are self-aware, okay? Next is we understand their strengths and weaknesses. An emotional intelligent person, an emotional intelligent HR practitioner should understand their strengths and weaknesses. Okay? We also need to be actively works to improve any skills gap that might have. If there will be chances for you to learn more, you need to work on it. Okay? Knows how to motivate, engage, and manage the employees. And lastly, they need to give honest feedback and provide support when employee needs it. Okay, so these are very essential. No, these are also important. Self-awareness, understand their strength and weaknesses, actively works to improve their skills gap that might have, um, knows how to motivate, engage, manage their employees, and give honest feedback and provide support when an employee needs it. Okay. Acknowledging personal and professional differences. This one leads to individual differences. Okay. Let's talk about acknowledging personal and professional differences that leads to individual differences. What is individual differences? Okay. So individual differences, we're talking about mental abilities, knowledge, habit, personality, and character traits. So at the beginning, pinag-usapan natin yung conduct, aims, and qualities. Now we're talking about individual differences, mental abilities, knowledge, habit, personality, character traits. Our personality differences influence our behavior at work. It is important for HR to understand individual differences because they influence the feelings, thoughts, and behaviors of employees. Okay? Now, personality differences. This one is by Dr. Craig Nathanson. He is an online faculty member for Johnson and Wales University. Okay? Have you ever met people at work whom you really got along well? Okay? And then have you ever met people at work whom you don't? So same dun sa sinabi ni Sir Darwin kanina, no? About the teachers. Okay? The characteristic of the teacher. So this one naman, have you ever met people at work whom you really get along well? So simula pa lang, magaan na yung pakiramdam mo. And then, meron naman, mabigat. Simula pa lang, mabigat na yung nararamdaman mo. What causes this great differences? So doon pa lang makikita na natin yung pagkakaiba, no? Human nature, we are expecting others to be just like us. Okay? When they fail to meet their expectations or our expectation, we decide we don't like to work with them. And it would be so much easier. All right? It would be so much easier if siguro the people we work with just all behave the same. If they listened to what we wanted to tell them, acted in the ways we are expected, thought about things in the same ways we did, it would be easier. Di ba? Madali. If people would work with you, just well behave the same, pareho kayo ng naiisip, alam nyo kaagad kung ano yung gagawin. But, it will never happen. Hindi siya mangyayari. Okay? How are we different from each other? Okay? So I compare people with these donuts. Okay? Our backgrounds. Our background, which includes how, where, and when we were raised, all play an important part in our differences. Our experiences play a big part of it. Our economic backgrounds matter. Our installed personalities from birth do as well. Our beliefs, our values. Okay? These are the differences. Ganito ka-diverse yung pagkakaiba ng bawat isa sa atin. Okay? Now, how to understand others? HR professionals should understand that people are different and knows that the best way to understand others is to become more self-aware. Okay? We should have a deeper what do you call this, understanding on self-awareness to have an effective interaction with others. And hindi siya overnight. It takes time. Actually, a lot of work, okay? And a lifelong process, okay? Understanding people or deeper understanding with people, it's innate, okay? Hindi siya mangyayari agad-agad dahil ginusto mo, okay? It takes time, a lot of work and a long time process, okay? When we understand ourselves and when we are at peace, we have greater patience and understanding for others. We need to be open. Okay, HR professional, we should understand. We need to be open. We should not wear a different persona at work. When I say persona, different personality, different you. You just need to be you, because lalabas at lalabas siya. Okay. Do not be defensive or protective when discussing personal matters, because the result will have an impact on your relationship with others at work. Um, what will happen? It will be shallow. It will be insincere, and you will never be able to build a positive working relationship at work. Okay? So, importante rin, no? Importante na as HR, do not be so sensitive. Okay? Huwag ka masyadong sensitive. Monitor your behavior. The more self-aware you become, the more tolerant you will be with others. Okay? Huwag mong pangunahin yung mga tao. Okay? Kasi baka sa sobrang sensitibo mo, okay, hindi mo na monitor yung nagiging ugali mo. Okay? So, the more you need to be more self-aware for you to become more tolerant with other people. Kasi importante yon sa trabaho natin. Importante na naiintindihan natin yung mga tao na lumalapit sa atin. Okay? Personality. What does personality have to do with it? Okay? Everything. Lahat. Lahat. So much of our behavior is affected by our core personality. Pag sinabi natin core personality, ito yung kabuuan ng iyong pagkatao, which stays with us most of our life. Okay? Personality is a complex combination of characteristics that includes mental and physical attributes that determine our identity. Okay? Personality. Personality is who we are and why we behave the way we do. Our personality is stable over time and across many different situations. Now, let me explain. No? For most people, we develop our personality habits which drive our behavior. So many factors affect our core personality. Now, as a result, at work, these core attributes all seems to strike, especially when trying to get things done with others. The HR professionals, okay, as HR, we should understand that helping people understand and appreciate the diversity, okay, between people is the best approach for a healthy and productive relationship with others at work. Okay? Ulitin ko po, between people, okay, appreciate the diversity between people is the best approach for healthy and productive relationship at work. Ano po ba yung diversity? Ang diversity po ay ang ating pagkakaiba. Okay? Emotions and behaviors. Let's say when people get upset, okay, they upset at work. Many times the anger or frustration is only triggered by one event but really is associated with another event. Okay? So sometimes we forgot this. We make assumptions at work. We label people at work too often. Okay? We say this person has high potential, this person is slower than the others. Ah, mahina yan. Ito, magaling to, magaling to. This person might be labeled too vocal. Okay, ganyan magsalita yan. Another person is too shy naman. Okay? We have the tendency to forget that all these emotions and behaviors at work is part of our core personality. Iyon yung lumalabas na yung tunay na pagkatao mo and the way you view the world with others, okay? Rather than trying to change people, the HR knows that it is better to have tolerance, no, for ambiguity with others. Okay? Pasok dito, labas dito. This helps one to communicate better. Be more adaptive, and sensitive to others' characteristic. Okay, as a result, people's differences. Okay, organizations should develop their own personality base on people they have hired. Okay, so dapat ano ba yung hinahanap mo? I would rather teach a fresh grad. Okay, kung ano yung magiging trabaho. Okay? Kesa kumuha ko ng experience na magiging sakit ng ulo ko. Okay? This is why it is critical to work in a culture that fits one's personality and values. Okay? Kasi importante no, na ma-appreciate mo yung pagkakaiba ng mga tao within the organization. And as HR, importante no na because of the complexity, okay, and yung behavior is combination of reaction based on how they think and what they have experienced in the world. So the best strategy by developing people at work is to value the differences. Alamin mo kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng mga tao or dun pa lang within your team, okay? The HR professionals, okay, HR professional understand that diversity increases creativity and innovation. Okay? It also increases conflict. Okay? So yung diversity, yung pagkakaiba, increases creativity kasi you're brainstorming na eh. Nagbibigay kayo ng opinion nyo. And it also increases conflicts. Okay? However, since you're professional, that conflicts are actually helpful for the development okay, with greater self-awareness, okay, we will accept who we are. Okay, work on these elements which need to develop. Magaling ka dyan, ito yun sa'yo. Pakinggan mo yung mga tao mo. I will listen to your suggestions, but my decision will be final. Yun, you become a leader as a leader, okay? I will listen to your suggestions, but my decision will be final. And accept that others are in different phases of their own self-development. Now, are there people differences at work? Meron bang pagkakaiba sa mga tao mo sa kumpanya? Yes. Do they impact behavior? Of course. Okay? The HR professional accept that is both challenge and opportunity of leading others. Ganito kaganda yung personalidad ng mga tao sa isang organisasyon, and we need to acknowledge that. And once we acknowledge the differences, we can take it as an opportunity to get or to do more projects within our organization. Okay? All right. The HR world is like a canvas. Okay. Not every employee will need the same things from us. Okay. We need to remember that the HR world is like a canvas. No, it is filled with unlimited, endless possibilities and opportunities for us to pursue. Now, as HR professional, it is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to meet the needs and expectations of our employees. Okay. Meaning, our work is like a masterpiece work of art. Okay. And that comes the power of perception, which cannot be understated. Okay. Again, yung trabaho natin bilang HR sa pang-araw-araw nating pamumuhay, I consider it like a masterpiece work of art, no? Okay? Your perception of your circumstances and the people around you determines how you feel, how you function, how you think, and how you respond. And this is true, no, with others people's perception of you as well. In fact, the power of perception can be summed up as perception is equals to reality, meaning awareness to sensitivity. Okay, what a person perceives, okay, to be true becomes their reality. It is absolutely essential that we establish the right perception with our employees and maintain it through consistent reinforcement, kasi magkakaiba yung mga tao. So hindi porket naisip mo na ito yung gagawin, ito lang yung gagawin mo. Iba yung naiisip, iba yung pagkakaintindi ng mga tao doon sa organization nyo. So you need to be creative. You need to have a lot of patience when you are practicing this kind of behavior. Okay? All right. Sorry. Okay. How to maintain a positive perception of you and your team in the minds of the employees. Okay. Here are some of the ideas for establishing and maintaining a positive perception of you and your team in the minds of your employees. First, okay, we need to watch our words. Okay, never speak negatively of yourself, your team, or the company. Okay, even if you have something negative to say, negativity poison the minds of people. Okay, against you and the company you represent. So always say something positive or nothing at all. Meaning, if you have nothing good to say, just shut up. Okay. Next, we need to produce quality work. Okay. Quality work. Quality work communicates that you are a quality person. People trust and appreciate someone who obviously takes pride and care in what they do. Okay? Produce a quality work. Maintain a positive attitude. Okay? Negativity is so contagious, no? Negativity is contagious. No matter what happens, you need to stay positive. People enjoy working with people who are positive and have a good outlook on life and at work and on work. Okay? Okay. Next, um we all face challenges both in our work and everyday lives. And never underestimate the benefits of just talking to someone, whether it's a family member, a friend, or even a colleague, no? Having to deal with this time is part of being human. And after all, anything that's human is actually mentionable. And anything that is mentionable can be more manageable. Okay? Ulitin ko. Okay, being human and after anything that's human is mentionable, okay? And anything that mentionable can be more can be more manageable. So what we need to do is we need to remain open. We need to be willing to hear every idea and thought without judging the person or the words being spoken. Be open, wag ikaw lang. Um, Everything is not about you, okay? You need to be open with ideas of other people around you. Okay, so we'll be willing to hear every idea. And again, as I mentioned kanina, no, you just need to hear whatever people want to say, and the decision is still yours. Okay, the final decision is still yours. Okay, listen. Listen to content or for content rather than the style. Try and gain understanding of what the message and don't trip up, okay, on the way the person is delivering the message. Right? Next, look at other clues to meaning. Other clues to meaning may be body language, tone of voice, the facial expression. You know, these things show how the meaning beyond the words being spoken. Okay? And even we're not seeing each other often, okay? Maintaining eye contact. This show the person that you are paying attention and are interested in what they are trying to get across. Now, since we don't have physical contact with other employees or with our employees, and even in the society, we can all agree that words have power. And here are some of the tips for increasing the power of your words. Okay. First, you need to choose your words carefully. Okay. Avoid slang and profanity. So, meaning jargons, bad language, curse. Okay. Improve your vocabulary. Focus on positive statements rather than negative ones. Okay. Now, what are some of the what are some ways that you can improve your vocabulary? Okay. Read more, but be careful of what you read. Okay. Take courses on presentation skills and public speaking. Okay. You also need to spend time around people who are good speakers. And of course, watch and listen to HR Cafe. Okay. And of course, importante rin, no, na be clear in your own mind about what you want to communicate. Because if you don't know what you need to say, how will other people be able to understand it? Okay. You need also to deliver the message clearly and briefly. Because the longer you talk, the more of a chance that there will be for misunderstanding and confusion. So you need to ensure that the message has been clearly and correctly understood, and you need to ask questions to make sure that the receiver understood you. Okay? And as mentioned, we need to focus on positive statements rather than negative ones. Now, the problem with negative statement po is that sometimes that may be true. Okay. Now, for instance, if an employee asks me a question and I say I don't know, that might be the truth. Okay. But the problem is not I don't know. Ang problema is hindi dahil sa hindi ko alam. The problem is that I am communicating the message I don't care. So iba yung pagkakaintindi nung nag-receive nung mensahe dun sa aking sinabi. Okay? Professional know how to communicate true statement in a positive rather than negative manner. They understand that negative statements communicate more than the words used to express them. So for example, instead of saying I don't know, my response should be I'll find out. Okay? Okay, I'll find out. I'll get back to you. I'll find out. Okay? But whenever the content of the things we say, it is our tone that communicate that we're feeling when we say. So sinabi mo nga, I'll find out. Pero yung tone ng boses mo, okay, I'll find out. I'll find out. Okay? It's not like that. Okay? Our tone tells the truth even when the words don't. So remember when the old saying, it's not only what you say, it's how you say it. Kung paano mo siya sinabi. Okay? And then nonverbal communication. I think NLP managed to discuss about this in the previous episodes. Nonverbal communication is even more powerful than verbal communication because most of us pay more attention to what we see rather than what we hear. Okay? Therefore, it is so important that we not only pay attention to our verbal skills, but our nonverbal skills as well. Okay? Facial expression, yung itsura ng mukha mo, pagkausap mo yung mga tao mo, communicate volumes of information. Okay? Same is true when we interact with our employees. If we are telling them with our words that we want to help them, but we are communicating a poor attitude with our face and body language, well, the non-verbal message is what going to come through the strongest. Okay? Sasabihin ni employee, itong sabi niya pero nakasimangot naman siya. Ito yung sabi niya pero ganito yung itsura niya. Ganito yung tono ng boses niya. So we need to be careful. Okay? Our tone, our facial expression is actually captured by the people, okay? By our people, and that's how we communicate certain information with them. Okay? So we need to be careful for that. Right? Okay. So, are you a born HR or an experienced HR? The skills, ideas, the techniques I shared is based on my own experience, practice, and understanding. Yung mga nabasa ko, napag-aralan ko, yung mga ginawa ko. Okay? So let's go back to my question. Are you a born HR or an experienced HR? Okay? I was born HR, I think, but I never consider myself but I could no, I was never born HR, but I consider myself as an experienced HR. So what is the difference? A born HR is someone by the book. Ito yung nasa policy, ito yung dapat gawin. HR who are focused alone on recruitment, on payroll, administration, employee relation, employee engagement, and training. Whereas an experienced HR, ito yung hinulma ng panahon. Okay? Hinulma ng panahon is someone who has the experience working with people, understanding people. Ano ba talaga ang ginagawa nila doon? Bakit ba sila ganun? Kailangan ihanda mo yung sarili mo because for you to understand people, you need to understand what they do. Ano bang buhay doon sa department na yon? Ano bang buhay sa operations? Ano bang buhay sa finance? Anong buhay ng mga ITs? Anong buhay ng mga accountants? Ano bang meron doon? Okay? It is important to involve yourself into such environment for you to understand the right approach dun sa tao na kailangan mong kausapin. You need to know your people. You need to understand the differences of our role as HR and our employees' professional duties on their departments. Importante na maintindihan natin yung pagkakaiba ng ginagawa ng bawat departamento. Okay? As HR, we will make mistakes. A lot of mistakes. But we need to acknowledge and try our best to correct it. Okay? Applying emotional intelligence approach on personal and professional level at work will help you understand the individuality of each person you're working with. Acknowledging the continuity of your role as HR professional regardless of circumstances and uncertainties. And you should never forget that we are dealing with different people. We in HR, we are dealing with different people with different background, with different thoughts, different views, different perspectives. We are different sa maraming aspeto ng buhay. Okay? And we need to acknowledge those areas that each of our team members are unique in their own way. Magkaiba. Kahit magkasama kayo sa departamento, kahit pareho kayong HR, you are still different and you're still unique. And you should consider different approach on how to deal with these people. Okay? And I'm getting closer to my presentation. Before I let you guys go, I just want to let everyone know that at this time of pandemic, looking after yourself mentally is so important. Okay? When you look after your mental well-being, your whole day will make a turn for the better. When we are aware of our emotions, kapag naramdaman mo na medyo paubos ka, umalis ka. Pag medyo nawawala ka, iwanan mo. Okay? Huwag mong babalikan, huwag mong tambayan. Okay? When we are aware of our emotion, we can see that we can see that they are trying to tell us something. Okay? Ulitin ko. When we are aware of our emotions, we can see that they are trying to tell us something.
and we shouldn't try to solve or ignore them. Okay? Because emotions are not problems to be solved. They are signals to be interpreted. Okay? Po? So again, ulitin ko, emotions are not problems to be solved. They are signals to be interpreted. And at one point, we are just going through the emotions of our day-to-day life, no? We are suffering the feelings, the sense of emptiness, without the real enthusiasm. Minsan gigising ka na lang, parang ang lungkot mo, parang may kulang, okay? Parang ang dami mong gustong gawin, okay? You're waking up without real enthusiasm, real interest or joy. It's that time when you feel like you have no motivation or focus because life can be so busy. It can be easy. It can be easy to forget to check in with your friends, your family, or even yourself. Okay, it is important that for all of us to ensure that um, important for all of us to ensure that we are taking some time to reflect and take care of our mental well-being. Okay, so as a result, now, as a result of this, please think of one thing. Okay, just think of one thing that you learned today for each of the following statements, and write somewhere, write them anywhere or on your comment box, um, that as a result of what I learned today, I am going to stop and then I'm going to start. Okay? Sa dami ng sinabi ko, I don't think you'll remember everything, but just get one. Okay? I'll be happy to know that even just one thing you've learned something today, masayang masaya na po ako. Okay? So, I'd like to thank you. Okay, I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I'd like to thank HR Cafe for the opportunity to share something to our HR community. Marami pong salamat. Thank you.
I am definitely going to watch the replay. Kasi it seems that everything you've said needs to be revisited, restudied, remembered. Every
And shared.
single
Thank you.
thing and reshared. Okay, very impactful today.
Thank
Nakakakilabot.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
At pag naririnig ko yung sinabi mo, napapagod ako. Kasi napaka-challenging talaga ang trabaho ng HR. Ang naisip ko yung, sa movie ba yon? Ako na lang ba dapat ang mag-adjust? Lagi-lagi when you're dealing with different departments from sales, finance, operations, it's really the HR who actually calms everybody down and connects everybody kasi naririnig mo, you've talked about diversity. You deal with a lot of different personalities in a company pa lang. Doesn't matter how big or small, lots of diversity, different ideas, personalities, emotions, tempers. And it seems that the HR challenge talaga ng HR to exhibit high emotional intelligence na dapat ikaw yung calm when dealing with everybody else. Kung yung tao sa finance nag-uusap ng numbers, you need to be able to properly explain that to somebody else in a different department. Lots of many hats. Pero ang galing lang talaga, Sir Anthony, kasi feeling ko, sa'yo, madali lang siya kasi it's already inside your heart. You're already living it day by day. It sounds very complicated, but here's the thing, parang if you get it kasi, parang nagbukas na yung buong mundo. 'Di ba? Parang nagbukas yung buong kumpanya sa iyo that you become the most likable person inside the company, most influential person inside the company. Anyway, we're opening the floor to questions and answers to everybody.
Okay.
Mentor Rona, do you have any comments from
Yes,
our readers, from our
meron
watchers?
po
Yeah.
tayong question kay Sir Anthony. Ang isa po sa mga question natin is, you talked about positivity. How do you ensure that the positivity does not turn into toxic positivity?
Ayun.
Ayan.
Okay. When we talk about toxic positivity, it's being positive is natural, no? It's innate. It's something na hindi mo pina-practice or hindi mo
Oo.
inaaral. When somebody approach you and then ask you negative information, negative details or kung ano man, no, we are absorbing negative energies on having that conversation with someone. But again, we need to listen, okay? We need to listen kung ano ba yung sinabi niya. Ano yung pinagdaanan ng tao na to before siya lumapit sa akin, before I give something or some information. Baka itong tao na to ay mayroon lang pinagdaanan, kaya ganito yung reaction niya, kaya ganito siya mag-response. Okay? So instead of sabayan kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ng tao, you need to control yourself. Okay? Importante na may control ka sa HR. Pakinggan mo, alamin mo kung ano yung nangyari, and then get back to that person. Okay? Kaysa magsalita ka nang hindi ka sigurado, again, nagkakamali tayo, but if there will be chances na hindi ka magkamali on that scenario, then do it. Wala namang masama kung babalikan mo sila eh. Wala rin namang masama kung aralin mo muna, pag-isipan mo muna bago mo sagutin yung kung ano mang problema meron. Okay? Because not all, di ba sabi nga nila, toxic yan, wala ka ng ibang maririnig. Okay? Bad yung person na yan or tong boss ko na yan, ganito. Okay? I don't believe in that. Okay? There's no such thing as bad person. But there's always a bad situation. Okay?
Mm.
Yung mindsetting ng isang tao nagbabago depende dun sa kung anong pinagdaanan niya or sa kung anong nangyari sa kanya. Okay? So we need to understand, we need to know kung ano ba yung pinanggalingan nitong tao na to before we say something. Okay? Hindi rin maganda na sa atin sa HR, since kilala natin, pinag-uusapan natin yung mga tao within our organization. So that's why sometimes I'm quiet. I don't
Mm.
say anything because I need to know kung ano-ano at kung sino-sino ba yung mga taong kinakausap ko within the organization. And I think that's very important. Okay?
Mm.
Yun po. So sana
Sir,
nasagot.
Sir Anthony, we have a
Opo, opo.
question on the floor. Kasi sabi nga, sana yung HR daw nila nakinig sa session ng HR Cafe.
Yeah,
Kasi
okay. You can
marami
send
daw
the link.
matutunan sa'yo. So the question I think many people want to ask is, what if the people that they are dealing with or co-HR managers or people in different or their bosses do not exhibit high emotional intelligence. Tapos sa kanila naman natatamaan because they're the ones receiving are the recipients of these people not knowing what to do. Now, what would you suggest our watchers? Not as a perspective of an HR manager, but more of yung tao na nagsasuffer dahil low yung emotional intelligence ng kausap nila.
Mm. Okay, is it the manager or the employee who are dealing with the...
You are the one. What would you advise a person
Okay.
who
Si
is the
employee mismo.
recipient of somebody na merong low emotional intelligence?
Okay. Siguro importante no na yun na katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, importante na naiintindihan mo at kilala mo yung mga taong kinakausap mo doon sa kumpanya mo. Okay? So let's say for example, accountants are very different. Okay? Ibang-iba sila. Akala mo wala silang pakialam, akala mo hindi ka nila pinapakinggan, pero gagawin nila kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin. Okay. So if let's say I don't think din kasi ang management or ang bosses natin, ang dami rin nilang ginagawa. We need to understand na hindi lang ikaw or hindi lang isang departamento yung iniisip nila, no? Perhaps our bosses are actually thinking a bigger picture, no? Mas marami silang iniisip na for this kind of things or for this kind of situation, department heads should actually take over and be emotionally intelligent first. And once they're okay and once they're fine, the HR should be there to do follow-ups. They should do some sessions. Importante na nag-update ka with regards to this topic. And I think Dole is actually implementing already the mental health law
Oo.
na napaka-importante na i-apply natin within our organization. So importante po 'yun, no? Na I don't think there's such thing as low emotional aspects within our bosses. Malaki yung puso ng mga nakakataas sa atin. It's just that hindi lang sila showy, hindi lang nila pinapakita, pero alam mo at mararamdaman mo in different ways. That's why it's part of the diversity. Kasama siya dun sa pagkakaiba natin. And we as HR, we need to bridge, no? We need to properly bridge this emotion of our bosses to our employees.
Mm.
Kasi once na magawa natin yon, mas madali tayong makaka-communicate kay boss. Okay?
Mm.
Even our bosses will listen to our suggestion. Our bosses will be open dun sa mga idea na ibibigay mo sa kanila because are you able to bridge whatever they want to tell your employees. So siguro yun po. It's a lot of learning, no? And as I mentioned kanina, hindi siya overnight. Hindi after nito okay na natutunan mo na, hindi. It's a lifelong process, no?
Mm.
It's something na kailangan mong aralin. Yung pasensya natin, minsan
Mm.
kailangan mo yung pagpipigil eh. Alam mo 'yon? Na
Mm.
nandun ka na sa sukdulan at kailan mo siya ilalabas lang. Kailan mo siya dapat ilabas. So you need to control. You need to have the control and I think the continuity, no, yung sinasabi ko pong continuity, yung simula ng pagiging HR mo, kung alam mo kung ano yung role mo, dapat magampanan mo siya hanggang dun sa dulo. Hindi ka dapat magbe-break dun sa gitna kasi sumuko ka na eh. Parang ganun po. So, yun I think yung maisasagot ko for now.
And I think importante din that the HR, the employees also practice discernment. Kasi sa HR, sa mga employees, kumbaga hindi natin ako personally, I am not expecting the employees themselves, yung mga ordinary employees, to actually be emotionally intelligent. I am not expecting that from them. I would assume that if ever something's not good with them, they will speak up or bigla na lang tatahimik. There will be a change. Yun yung expectation ko sa kanila. But from HR, I would always expect that an HR person would know when to push back and when to let go. Okay, we need to develop that. It's not something that we develop overnight, but it's something that's a skill that we need to have. When to push back and when to let go. May mga instances that we need to push back. Okay, may mga instances na kailangan habaan pa natin ng konti ang ating PC at kailangan tayo ang mag-adjust kasi meron tayong end goal na gustong matutunan. And there are also instances when we have to let go. When extending the PC, the patience that we have no longer works. When communicating, over communicating no longer works. When our mental health is already being sacrificed. Girl, boy, kung ano pa man, people, baka time na to let go. 'Di ba? Baka hindi ito yung para sa iyo. Hindi never ako kasi pag nagre-resign ako, and I do resign due to there are instances that I have resigned due to mental health, due to my mental health. Never kung sinabi na this company is bad because na-stress ako dyan. Ang lagi ko iniisip is my personality, my values, my mission, vision is not in line with that company.
Correct.
Somebody else is in line with that. It just so happen na it's not me. Baka iba, para sa iba ko. So, ganun palagi, ganun ang mindset. Para you don't burn any bridges, you save yourself, you save also the relationship. And all my bosses, I still love all of them. All of them. Kahit na yung mga bosses ko na talagang super challenge ako. Lahat sila nakakausap ko pa hanggang ngayon.
Sir Anthony, there are a few. You asked everybody a while ago what they learned in your presentation.
Oh, yes, yes,
So
yes
let
po.
me just read a few, okay? Aldrin Ilagan says, madalas sa kagustuhan nating maging pinakamagaling, nakalimutan nating maging mabuti. Clapping hands. Thank you po, sir. Okay. Mir Nakabantog says, yes, I will repeat it again. Ace Gasmundo says, thank you for this very insightful topic. Learned a great deal. Alona Ray says, tama po yon, sa HR department tayo nagbibigay ng recognition, thankless position, but that is still our passion. Cha Aguilar says, being an HR department person is really a full of challenges because we face a lot of people, cases, and situation, especially ngayon sa new normal. Kasi marami talagang challenges, maraming reduction of work, minsan parang because of that your wage does decrease, nagkakasakit, it's really tough. JM Janaban Mendoza says, thank you so much for motivating him. Mirna Kabantog is asking, if mismong HR head, yung may low EI, Paano po ma-boost yung morale ng mga employees?
Sir Darwin, baka meron kang gustong masabi before ako.
If the HR head has some difficulty in terms of emotional intelligence, the best way to resolve the issue is have a discussion with the person. Have an open, honest discussion with the person. And when I say discussion, do not be in the place where you would be antagonizing, or you will be disrespectful, or you would be blaming the person. Be in a place where the reason for the discussion is that you are part of a team, and he or she is the leader of that team. Be on a position where you would like to be successful as a team, and properly provide suggestions on how he or she can improve his or her relationships, or his or her emotional intelligence, not only to the team but also to other stakeholders. I always believe that having an open and honest communication is something important, especially in the HR teams. If you do not have that in your teams, people leaders, not only in HR, if you do not have an open, honest discussion with your team members, then you would not know, you're blindsided with a lot of things that most probably your areas of opportunities or your areas of growth can be uh, uh, can be reminded to you by your team members. So just be in a place where you're talking out of care and not out of disrespect, or out of you're blaming the person. It's
I have
always
an answer for
Mm-mm.
this.
Yes, yes,
If
please.
your HR head has low EI, you yourself must exhibit high emotional intelligence.
Correct.
Mm-mm.
Kasi it doesn't matter who's handling you. People come and go. If you exhibit high emotional intelligence and you are the person who boosts the morale of all the employees, chances are management will recognize just how influential and powerful you are inside that organization. And usually, these people who exhibit very high emotional intelligence and have the heart of the other employees are usually promoted when the HR head with low EI either gets inched out naturally or resigns. Diba? It's a very strategic thing. So
Mm-mm.
don't let us not forget, parang especially for those, we should not look at other people. We should look at what we can do in
To complete.
ourselves. Kasi we're always looking at paano kung yung colleague ko nakakaasar, paano kung yung boss ko nakakaasar. Why are you being frustrated with other people? Why not just you yourself exhibit high emotional intelligence? Kasi those who have low EI eventually will leave.
Ang
And
tawag
if
dyan, di ba,
they
ano?
leave, 'di ba? Oo, ikaw magpapalit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Ano
I
may
agree.
tawag dyan eh? Manage those that you can manage directly.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mentor Rona, any other comments or suggestions dun sa question? Kasi 'di ba, marami rin tayong na nakilala na merong mga mga need ng emotional intelligence.
Oh, okay. If option one, which is what Coach Darwin mentioned, doesn't work, and option two, which is what Mentor Tina mentioned, go for option three. Talk to the immediate superior of the HR. Okay? And raise your concerns. Kasi that person, yung kanya immediate head, responsibility niya to coach and mentor the HR head. HR head. Kung let's say talagang, Diyos ko, low EI ito, talagang sinabihan na namin siya. And there are people who are like that, na kahit sabihan mo, parang, woo, parang wala,
Yeah.
lumagpas na sa kanya, hindi siya nakikinig. So, in cases like that, go to the immediate head, talk to the immediate head, and then get that immediate head to coach and mentor the person. Now, be very careful about this. If it's something that's really affecting productivity, the
Mm.
quality of your work, then talk to the immediate head. But if it's something that doesn't affect you at all, Wala naman. Ang ano mo lang is palaging nakasimangot, palaging ganito. Meron pala siyang RBF, resting bitch face, 'di ba? Hindi naman pala siya talaga gano'n. Kaya lang dahil hindi mo siya nakakausap, gano'n ang tingin mo sa kanya. So, careful lang sa gano'n. Okay? Ako palagi, if you don't want someone, if you don't like what somebody is doing, talk to the person directly.
Mm.
Yun yung unang palaging step. Kasi doon mo marirealize, and not in an antagonistic way, doon mo marirealize kung tama ba yung pagkakaintindi mo. Baka naman may mali doon sa pagkakaintindi mo. Baka naman hindi lang kayo nagkaintindihan. Baka may mali sa tono niya. Baka meron lang pala siyang pinagdadaanan. So, understand those things first before you try to escalate it to somebody else. Okay? And before you actually do something na in the long run, baka ikaw pa yung maipit. Okay? Again, manage what you can directly manage. If it's something that doesn't concern you or people around you, wala namang epekto sa work, talaga lang kung pinanganak siya na parang Semana Santa ata siya palagi. Okay? Kung hindi nakaka-apekto, let go. Be the bigger person.
We
Mental
have,
Clear, napakaraming ano, no?
oo
Napakaraming
nga
mga
eh,
comments.
yung mga
Ang daming
learning,
pinagdaanan.
sabi ni Mel Enojo, listen for content, not for style. O, 'di ba? Mga marami nagte-take down notes. Tapos Aaron Paul de la Cruz Torres said, sana nanonood kayo dito na wag puro one-sided lang. Okay, you have to look at it from another perspective. And then sabi nila, ano ba to? Aaron Paul says, be firm but not rude.
True.
Okay, that's from your first slides. Minsan sila pa nagdadala ng stress sa office, yung HR head. Johanna Antonio says patience is a virtue but not forever.
True.
Okay? Mel Enojo says it always takes two to tango. Okay? Sheila has a comment, Ma'am Rona.
Yes, ang haba ng comment ni Sheila. I'm so sorry natakban tuloy kami ni Tina. I will really replay this to let all the topics sink into me. For 11 years in the profession, I really believe in the power of kindness. With it springs all. You can be highly intellectual but fail to get the people's heart. I highly believe in the power of EQ. When you leave the company or you're no longer around, it's how you touch their lives that leave forever imprints. Thank you so much for this afternoon session. Which is true ha. Lagi nyo iisipin yan, ano bang legacy ang gusto kong iwan sa company na ito? Lagi nyo iisipin niya, whether you're an HR assistant, HR manager, HR director, what legacy do I want to leave with this company? Gusto ko ba na pag alis ko dito, people will talk about me negatively? Or do I want to be someone na talagang, ay, napaka-approachable ng HR na yan, she helped me with this, she helped me with that. Alin doon ang mas preferred mo? Diba?
Sir Anthony, question lang. If,
Yes
di
po.
ba parang right now, there is the webinar, and I know a lot of people want to increase pa their emotional intelligence. Can you and Coach Darwin advise, going forward, ano yung next step para lalo pang ma-boost yung emotional intelligence ng tao? Is there like a class that they have to take, a leadership seminar? What would you recommend?
Well, the class that we've attended with Anthony, yung Certified Emotional Intelligence Professional, is actually a training program that each people leader, not only HR, each people leader should be taking, because
Mm.
it's really more of understanding how emotions works in the workplace, not
Hmm.
only in the workplace, actually in a general setting. A lot of people, when I attended that workshop, that training, I actually thought that I've read a lot of things already about emotional intelligence. I've already heard a lot of speakers, but iba pag talagang nag-undergo ka ng certification training sa emotional intelligence, kasi it opens up a different perspective. Your management style will be different. You will be able to
Mm.
identify your own gaps in your own management style. So I think if we're interested, reach out to Genus International. I think here in the Philippines, they're being facilitated or sponsored by, sino nga ba to? Kay ano yan eh, kay Mother,
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I forgot the company. Wait,
We
babalikan
can
namin
post
kayo
that
sa
later.
ano, yeah,
Oo.
post that later. Pero yung head niyan is actually one of the esteemed HR professionals in the Philippines.
Okay.
Head ng People Dynamics ba? Tama ba ako? I forgot.
Parang,
Si
parang,
ano,
parang,
si,
parang, I
mm,
think people dynamics, I think.
People
Not
dynamics.
sure. People
Si
dynamics, alam nyo na.
uh, and then yun, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony?
Well, I think ako, importante yung i-apply mo kung ano yung natututunan mo. I keep myself busy by watching TED Talks or anything that makes me learn more about certain people. Kasi napaka-importante sa akin na mai-apply ko kung ano yung nabasa ko, kung ano yung natutunan ko. So my people can actually see it. Hindi ko man ituro, no? There are certain learnings na minsan natututunan mo through experience, but at the same time, pag nakita mo na ginagawa ng ibang tao, like Sir Darwin, no? Like what he's doing. Imagine when I backtrack honestly kung ano yung pinag-usapan namin, how he helped me dun sa mga concerns na ginagawa ko, makes me humble myself, okay? I think
Mm.
that's the best word that I can say is aside the being gracious, you need to humble yourself kung saan ka nagsimula. Kailangan alam mo, there will be a time na malaman mo kung saan ka nagsimula, anong dahilan kung bakit ka nandyan sa posisyon na yan in order for you to appreciate kung ano yung meron ka, okay? Like wag mong hahanapin doon sa ibang mga tao or kung ano
Mm.
mang pag-aaral. It's innate. It's something na natural na lalabas sa'yo eh. Natural. Hindi siya something na inaaral. Pero kailangan mo siyang babasahin para maintindihan mo, para malaman mo, or at least may makausap ka who are practicing that kind of behavior. And I think Sir Darwin is one of the few people I know,
Marami tayo,
honestly.
marami.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, sa akin, he's
Real
really
talk
one.
lang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real talk. It's him and I don't know if you know Jeff Mengin.
Hmm.
These
Yeah.
two people, okay, these two
Sir
people,
Jeff.
yeah, actually helped me and mold me to become a better person in terms of this kind of industry. In this industry, as a trainer, as a facilitator, and as a person. Okay, so these two are very important people sa career ko ngayon. So I'd like to thank you guys. Thank you. And it's nice sharing one screen with all of you. So masaya ako, no? It's not sharing the same stage now, no? But sharing the same screen. And I'm very happy. I'm here. I'm very happy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And that at least somehow nakapag-share ako something with the HR
Correct.
community. So
We
thank you
Yes.
so
we
much po.
we have more than 100 people who are listening to you the whole time, Anthony. Now, ano pala, doon sa mga nagtatanong about the training, the certification for emotional intelligence professional under Genius, naku, magagalit sa akin to kasi tita namin to, si Miss Jocelyn Pick. Miss Jocelyn Pick of People Dynamics. Mother, sorry naman. Miss Jocelyn Pick
Nag-reply.
po.
Hello po. Hello,
Miss
hello.
Joseph, if your company would like to undergo training about um, certification in emotional intelligence under the Genius program, please reach out to Miss Jocelyn Pick and under People Dynamics Incorporated. Mother, thank you for listening.
Thank you po, thank you.
Ayun,
Yeah.
marami pang nagko-comment dito. Ito, so much learning for this afternoon. Thank you so much, mentors and coaches. This is very timely since I will be starting an OIC role in the HR department. Wish me luck. We wish you luck. Thank you for interesting
Good
talk.
luck, good luck.
Thank you for interesting talk. Very timely. Listen to HR Cafe. Talk is productive way to spend MECQ afternoon. Maraming salamat po. We're already going more than a year now, and this is our passion. Now, Anthony, any last words coming from you? Paano ka ba nila makokontak? Kasi I know that, yes, you are an HR leader of your organization, but what if other companies would also like to reach out to you and tap you as a speaker? How can they contact you?
Okay, I think they can contact me through you. Okay.
Facebook
So
or
yeah,
email? Do you have any
Facebook or
Facebook or
email, or
email?
you can message Sir Darwin if you want to top up with any thing. So it's Sir Darwin, Sir Darwin.
Or
Thank you
you can
so much,
message
HR
him
Cafe.
directly. I know, Anthony Villarina sa Facebook. If you're
Yes, yes.
interested, he he has given a very powerful training
Yes.
today, and I would encourage everyone to please replay it, share it, replay it to your team
Yeah.
members. So
Thank you po. Thank you
maraming
so much.
salamat, Anthony. Now,
Yeah.
Mentor Rona, let's start with you. Any announcement that you would like to announce to our listeners before we end the program?
Ayan,
Or any last words?
bago po yung announcement, re-remind ko lang po lahat yung sa last line po ni Sir Anthony kanina. Sabi po niya, yung emotions, dumadaan lang yan, wag tambayan. So kung ano man po
Mm-mm.
yung mga emotions nyo, be it work-related or personal yan, wag po nating tatambayan, galaw-galaw din, move-move din. Okay, yan po ay lilipas din. Lagi ko sinasabi, and this is something that I hope many HR professionals would always keep in mind. Whenever you are very, very happy, always keep in mind that this too shall pass para hindi po kayo masyado magiging mayabang or aakyat sa ulo nyo ang inyong mga accomplishments. This too shall pass. Pag kayo naman po ay malungkot or you're having challenges, you're having difficulties, tell yourself, this too shall pass. Wala pong forever. Hindi po yan para palagi kayong talo. Dapat lilipas din yan. Okay? It's either you do something about it, the environment does something about it, or time does something to it. So, kalma lang po tayo. Okay? Para naman po sa ating mga racket, iniimbitahan po namin kayo sa Uprush. So we're going to have the Mastery of Philippine Compensation and Benefits happening on October 14, 15, 29, and 30. If you are interested in really diving deep into compensation and benefits in the Philippine setting, we would like to invite you to be part of our Mastery of Philippine Compensation and Benefits webinar. Ayan po. For more information, head to the Uprush Facebook page or email us at support@readyrightnow.com or message nyo lang po ako sa Facebook. I also have my own Facebook page. Send lang po kayo ng message doon. At kung kayo naman po ay tulad ko na mahilig sa mga feng shui, ayan po, baka gusto nyo pong magpa-analyze na inyong personality using Chinese metaphysics. Ako po ay I am a practicing Kimen Duja practitioner, parang redundant nun. Just send me a message and I will try to analyze it to you using the principles behind Kimen Dunsha. Ayan po. Mentor Tina, ikaw po, ano po ang inyong mga latest na racket?
Okay, last words ko from Sir Anthony's. I encourage everyone to rewatch this webinar. Lots of takeaways. I think it seems na nakakapagod maging HR kasi you deal with a diverse group of people, and it seems from Sir Anthony's webinar, parang ikaw lagi yung nag-a-adjust. Ikaw yung laging kung sino yung you're actually reacting to many different groups of people and coordinating and trying to make sense out of it, and there is that challenge for you to remain calm, to be the leader of everybody in the organization. But here's one thing: I think emotional intelligence takes practice. It's not something that people are born with. You have to consciously develop it. We have to consciously develop the way we see the world, how our tempers, how we talk to people, how we communicate with them, the words that we use. And the HR profession is one of the best places or careers where you get to develop these skills and get paid for it. Let me repeat that, ha. The HR department, because you deal with so many different people from the time they start up to the time they end from different departments. It's actually a career where you get to develop your emotional intelligence every single day and get paid for it. So meaning to say, when you deal with somebody, ginamit mo tong words na to, tapos nakita mo, ay, biglang nagalit. Hindi to pwede gamitin. O ito, I use this type of communication style. Oy, it works pala. So you keep the ones that work and you get rid of the ones that do not work. And you have your entire career from the time you graduate up until you are older than Darwin and Anthony and Rona to actually develop that. Diba? And once you get it, that emotional intelligence, once you can develop it, you will find that your career will progress faster than you ever could. Kasi tama si Sir Anthony sinabi, magaling ka nga, pero if people don't like you, you can't, you will be fighting against the water. People will actually try to sabotage you. Kasi, lalo na sa Pilipinas, pag maangas ka, ayaw ng tao sa'yo. pag mabait ka at marunong kang makisama at makiusap, you can get people, you can move mountains, especially in this country. So emotional intelligence is a very good skill to learn. Pero a lot of us always look at it na parang, paano naman yung HR head ko, siya naman walang emotional intelligence? And the question we ask ourselves is, bakit lagi ibang tao ang tinitignan natin? Dapat tinitignan natin yung sarili natin because we are the only ones we can change. 'Di ba? We cannot change our colleagues, we cannot change our bosses, we cannot change our husbands pagkasal na kayo kasi mahal magpaanal. Pero you can change how you react to situations. Because Sir Anthony said, the only thing that's constant is the situation itself. What really is a changeable variable is how you react to it. React to it well, and the situation will change for the better. React negatively and badly, and even the best of situations will turn into the house of horrors. Kasi really, it's not the situation that matters, but rather how we deal with it, how we see it, and how we actually react to it. So sa akin, parang I need to really watch Sir Anthony's kasi nangingilabot po ako sa mga sinasabi niya. Marami siyang mga quotable quotes. Pero that's my takeaway is first, we really have to we have to look at ourselves for change. We should not look at our companies or our bosses kasi you can change that, 'di ba? Kung ayaw mo na sa boss mo, pwede ka naman lumipat. Pero pag palagi kang galit sa boss mo, parang ikaw na yata yung may problema, hindi yung boss. Nakalimang kumpanya ka na, nakalimang boss ka, lahat ng bosses mo kagalit mo. There might be a problem with you, and hence you are the one who need to exhibit high emotional intelligence. Wag na nating tignan yung ibang tao. Tayo na lang ang magpalit. And pag nagpalit po tayo, then we will see ourselves like Ma'am Rona, Coach Darwin, and Sir Anthony rising high up in the ranks in HR, in the HR, in the companies that they are in. And it's not just for HR, but even kahit saan department ka, if you know how to deal with people, then you are pretty much invincible. Even your enemies cannot touch you. Okay, Coach Darwin?
Yes, before I go to my last word, just some announcement. I would just like to I know to share this message from France Rigos Tada. According to her, as an aspiring HR practitioner, this topic is indeed a big help that I can
Mm.
keep in mind as a student, leader, and as a future HR practitioner as well. Thank you so much, Sir Anthony and coaches. Friends, please share it to your classmates, share it to your
Mm.
batchmates, share it to your network. Maraming salamat po sa lahat na nakikinig ngayon. Announcement lang, my company, Inspiro is looking for HR business partners and also HR specialists. We're hiring right now because of the ramp. We have fixed term and permanent positions available. If you're looking for a job and you would like to be part of my organization, please send us an email, darwin.rivers@inspiro.com. And then I think that's it. So for the topic for today, it's not only about
Mm.
HR in terms of emotional
Mm.
intelligence, that the discussion for today is across
Yes.
all departments, and it's a discussion about how we should mature as a
Mm.
professional, di ba? How we should
Mm.
mature as a professional. So maraming salamat po, and we will see you again next week, next Sunday, for another episode of the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay, Iba Pa. Maraming salamat po, and keep safe, guys. God bless. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.